Hopefully it is. I am starting to gather together our cast in the green room out back. And we are, look at that. Hey, look, I'm live. Woo! Boy, that went like on the first try this time. That's new. New and interesting. I'm a fan. I'm a fan of my stream actually going live when I ask it to. Hope everyone's doing okay out there. We've got a big session today. I'm looking forward to it. Back from PAX U, where I had an amazing time. Don't know if any of our folks out there who I met and saw and said hello to are out and joining us today. If you are, it was great meeting you and seeing you in person and all those things. Hey, Tamlin, thanks for the follow. Appreciate that. Actually, that means I got to move that over a little bit. I blocked your alert. We're gonna get going in about 15 minutes here. Like as I said, we're getting the folks all together. Hey, how are you doing? Good to see you. Or welcome if it's your first time. Appreciate the follow. And if for some reason I'm not recognizing that we met at PAX U, then I'm sorry. It's probably just not putting faces to names to handles. Tamlin. Let me know. Help this old man who's still just on his second cup of coffee. But yeah, hope everyone, if you were at PAX U, had a great time. If not, had fun. Oh, cool. Wait, Tamlin, you're like, we met on like the very first day, right? Sorry, that's also like breakfast, lunch, and dinner that I'm having with a protein cookie. Whee! Yay, cool. Well, thanks for joining in. We got an interesting story today. Don't know if you've watched us with the Vice before, but yeah, currently our warlock is trying... big, long, convoluted story, but our warlock, who was originally a archfey, had an archfey patron, disguised himself. He was an Eladrin because they were on look for him by taking on his sentient sword as a patron. The sword, however, got shattered, and so now we're to a big choice that our good friend Dragon or Cats has had to make of saving this sentient sword, but remaining a Hexblade Warlock, or going back to his original character, Ishgrin, who is patron of the Frost Prince, an Archfey. Hey, good morning, Templar. Yeah, no, it's streaming is a weird animal. Hey, Brieger, it's funny. I haven't seen you in a while. I still have your boon that you donated like over a year ago has still yet to trigger. So, who knows? It could be sometime soon. It could be today. But I have it still sitting here right on the top of my monitor waiting for it to trigger whenever it does. So thank you for that. And I'm sure the player who it will receive it will thank you very much too when it does trigger. So yeah, the biggest thing is processor and video speed and also upload. When it all comes down to, excuse me, is the upload of your internet. So yeah, no, it's still sitting right there, ready to trigger. It's just been, it's been close, but yeah. So still a big secret out there. And for those of you who know New Titans, actually, the sentient sword that we're sort of, the plot is centering around right now actually was by a generous donation from our buddy New Titans, who for Lysithia, the sentient sword that is currently the center of all the drama. I need to go to studio mode. See how many people I got back there now. We're slowly getting there. The cast is slowly gathering. It's yeah, it's gonna be fun. It's gonna be interesting. We shall see. We shall see. We shall see. Warlock drama, I know, right? Always it's with the warlocks. Warlocks and their patrons. Ugh. I love Warlock, though. It's one of my favorite classes. I also love how you can... I've homebrewed a Warlock overlay class. Hey, look at that! Dragons are cats with his year of torture. Let's get some flexes out there for our buddy. Yeah, look at that. A year of torture, and boy, yeah, the year of torture ends on a day of torture. Torture? Maybe, maybe not. We'll see. I'm sure it's not going to be torture. It's going to be a good day. It's going to be a good day. Yeah. Good day. So, yeah, no. So, we've got all that going on. How are you doing, VK? Were you at the festival yesterday with Kyle? Did you all have a good time? Or was it Kyle off running on it, going crazy on his own? Awesome. I'm glad you've enjoyed them. I'm hoping... I kind of got super busy around Gen Con and then never got back to doing more. Thanks, Abby Marie, for the host. Got back to more of, actual, you kind of, it gets redundant pretty quick when you keep rolling the same things all the time. Was just trying to come up with some new ideas of how to do it. How's my mic sounding out there? Am I clipping at all? I'm looking at my output here, and I've seen that it is pegged out a couple times. So anyone out there who's got like headphones on or something, let me know if it's clipping off the top or doing weird things. All right. I won't worry about it then. I had pushed up my gain a little bit because I was doing some rehearsals for some scene work that's happening today. And yeah, we will... Gosh, that is like all over y'all's chat. I didn't realize that. Let me get out of studio mode for a second and move this. And so yeah, I've been playing around with it. And then this is, I guess, the first time I've been streaming. I've got a new setup now. I'm kind of... I rotated my whole setup here. So for those of you who remember back in the day when I didn't have a green screen, the bed's not back there anymore. I'm actually in the corner where the bed was and got the beds out of here. Confirmed, but yeah. I use OBS. I like it a lot. I would try first doing with X Stream or whatever it's called. And then it didn't give me the flexibility that I needed, especially since I have 6 players. I just have got, I know I've got like probably the most jam-filled, layout that there possibly could be. I tried to actually have some windows made by our good friend Eric Vulgaris, and I have too much stuff. I just have too many things between the characters and everything. There's New Titans. New Titans. There you go. See, that's when I've been pegging out. Maybe I shouldn't be so loud. But yeah, dude, we were just talking about you New Titans. Yeah, the episode kind of is a little bit revolving. Last episode and this one around your donation of Lysithia way back a year or so ago. So we shall see. We shall see how this all ends up. As our boy Vidar, once Iskrin, had some big decisions to make. Big decisions. So, Lyle, yep. Lysithia. It's like all the familiar faces here welcoming us back. Thank you so much, everyone, for tuning in and just chilling out with us a little bit. We'll talk about it a little bit more, but we are, once again, this December supporting Toys for Tots, which is a charity that's very close to my heart, back from my cosplay days. So if you're able to donate, that's great. If not, you can hit the links down below, go straight to their site, and find out ways for you to be able to... oh, you know what? The link's not working. Give me half a second. I didn't realize that that was not working. I think I need to do that, and now it will work. Let me check that. There we go. Yeah, if you click the link down there right underneath of Toys for Tots, the little purple, like if you do the logo, it's for our donation page. If you click on the link, it will take you to our good friends at Toys for Tots main webpage, and then you can also find your local campaign, which is there at the top, and it will take you to ways that you can volunteer right there in your own hometown. One of the things, especially if you've got wrenches or know how to turn a wrench or a screwdriver or any type of tools, they always need help. Always, always, always need help assembling bikes. A lot of big chains will donate literally 100 bikes all at once, but usually they're coming directly from the warehouse and they're unassembled. And as a lot of the folks who might be receiving them might not have tool sets or ways to put them together, they always deliver the bikes assembled. I spent many a December 23rd and December 22nd assembling bicycles, which if you are someone who has some Hawkeye 4 months, what's up with that? For one of, if you're able to do that or would like to do things like that or want to volunteer your time because that's what you like to volunteer with, get in touch with your local Toys for Tots and help them assemble bicycles, because that is one of the biggest things that they need help with, as well as going out and helping to collect toys. But truly, that bicycle assembly, I mean, it's a long process to get that many bicycles assembled. And let me tell you, after you put together about your 20th bicycle and your forearms are burning, it is nice to have extra help show up and give you a hand. Stayed up to 4 playing Overwatch. Ah. Bird. No, actually, it is. I really like this. This is Teas Ice. Oh, it's green. Trouble. But it is green tea. It is Teas tea, ice steeped. It's cold brew green tea, with no sweeteners or artificial hoo-has or any of that type of stuff. And here, let me see if I can get it to focus. There we go. Stop looking at my face and start looking at that. So yeah, it's Teas tea, cold brew tea. And as you can see, it's green because it disappears. It is so good. Really refreshing, and good for you too. Nice! D&D for charity! I'm a big fan. It's what we like to do. Let's see. Here we go. We're starting to get everyone together. Let me get my studio mode here and start getting things set up. So I've got the right people in the right places. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There we go. So I can actually have folks in their place. So I can pretend like I'm a pro streamer. We all know it's a lie, but I can pretend. We all can have a dream, right? I'm like the barbarians in the tavern at Tangled. Hey, Bird versus Plane renewing his subscription. Look at that. Thank you, dude. There's a Luck Gold Heart. And he's like got a new setup today because his camera is completely not where it's supposed to be. Let's get that worked out. Look at this. Look at me pro streaming, getting things in order prior to actually going on to stream. Who is this guy? I don't even know who I am anymore. Just don't even know who I am anymore. It is true. I don't know who I am anymore. And then let me get the rest of this stuff worked out as well. So, where are we going? What are we doing? Where are we going? What are we doing? I need to... Okay, this is when it gets a little bit confusing. Because I got to get people in their spots. That's Celia. There's Celia's goes there. Don't mind me as I play Tetris in the background, folks. Sorry if I'm missing you in chat. I will get with you in just a second as I'll run backwards and catch up. I promise. Let's see. That's going to go right there. And that's going to go right there. And look at that. Axle falls right into place. Okay, folks, I'm going to let the guys in the back know that we are about to go live with all you fine folks. And once we do, we'll get this show on the road. Okay, so let's go to there. Everyone's in their spot. Let me let them know. Hey guys, we're going live in like 30 seconds. So I'm going to say goodbye to you all here, and we will see you over there on the other side in just a moment. Remove that. Bye-bye. Turn on this. Turn on that. And go to there. And here we all are, folks. Look at that. You would think that we knew what we were doing or something crazy like that. It is a lie. We all know it's a lie. But I'll pretend anyway that it's not. So anyway, welcome to everybody back to this episode of Device. And let's go around real quick and say hello to our players. We'll start with Tree Huggin' Druid.
Hi, I'm Tree Hugging Druid. I've been gone a whole lot longer than everybody else here has been gone. So I've kind of missed my friends here a whole lot. I play Celia Rollerin, our high elf rogue. I have no idea why I wanted to say monk, but apparently Celia's half monk too.
Sure.
But yeah, Celia's just killed a vessel of her.
How dare you stab your ex-boyfriend?
Don't think about it too hard.
Yeah, we can get into some. We'll get into some of that as we get back into it. But yeah, you did just kill sort of Iskrin, maybe something. Who knows? You know, it was something that might have been corrupted by another member of our party. Speaking of, let's talk to Good Guy Pie.
That would be me. And as you all know, I am here today to play Luck, Gold-Hearted Adventure Extraordinaire, all the way from Elevation Pit, and, you know, we're out with the old, in with the new. This one seems more mentally stable. And you know what we're lacking in this party? Stability.
Takes one to know one. Next up, we have our good friend Alicia in NG9.
Hello, lovelies. I have missed you, and I know you've missed me. I am Energy 9. I play Lunar Water Genasi Monk, who is having internal realizations that will never be said out loud.
Never. Next up, we have Bird vs. Plane.
Hey, folks, I'm Bird. I play Iskatul, the half-elf bard turned gunslinger, who recently saw her arch-nemesis and the clockwork version of herself that's Vidar helped defeat. So hopefully we get out of the situation just fine. Everyone's happy, no tears, we're all friends, we all love each other. All the good guys win forever. That's how this works, right?
Right. Next up, we will have Templar Warden.
Hello, I am Templar Warden. I am playing the Tabaxi wizard, hidden by Axel. Excitable, curious, and completely confused and overwhelmed and incapable of keeping up, which is kind of like terrifying. So this will be fun.
Yeah, for our intellect boy. Hey, look at that. Party of 7 from Babunski. Thank you. Welcome to the Vice and to our fun, exciting little home here. We've got all kinds of fun stuff happening today. We're going around introducing each other as we get into what's bound to be a very interesting session, because up on deck, right in the middle of all of his story, is our good buddy, Dragons Are Cats. You are muted.
Hi everyone, this one is sick. I'm Dragons of Cats. I am tired, it is early, and I am ready for some emotional feelies as we come back into the session, and I am ready to, let's see, reforge my sword and maybe let go of my past. I don't know. Ready for a good time?
Hooray for a good time.
He's apparently mentally stable a lot.
Mentally stable a lot. I like that. That's good. I am Tall Squall. I am your host and dungeon master for the Vice. Welcome to everybody out there. We do run our channel 100% for charity. We are gathering this month, actually last month and this month because of the holidays, for Toys for Tots, which is a incredible organization. It's very close to my heart. I used to do lots of volunteering with them back in my cosplay days, going out as different characters to collect toys. They are an amazing organization run by the Marines. So you know any donation that you give is going to the right places. If you're able to donate, that would be great. If you're not able to donate money to our channel, you can click on the link down below. So the logo is donations for our channel, but there's a link in the text in purple. Click on that. It will take you to their website, and you can go find my local organization. And it will take you directly to your local organization's website, who can tell you about events that they're having in the area. They always need people to help load trucks, unload trucks, pick up toys, and as I was talking for in the pre-show, put together bicycles. If you're able and are mechanically inclined, they always need help doing that. I've spent many a pre-Christmas day in a warehouse assembling sometimes hundreds, sometimes thousands of bikes, depending on what type of a level of metropolitan area that you are in. So definitely check them out. Like I say, they're a great organization. All of donations and subscriptions go directly to them. And just for those of you who are wondering about subscriptions, how I do it is the entire $5 of your subscription goes in. So basically, I'm donating my proceeds from the subscription to the charity as well. So either way that you like to donate, you can put things in the spell bank, which gives our folks a scroll that at the end of our donation goal time that they find along the way in their next loot. And that is pretty much the way all of that fun stuff works. And with that, and no further ado, I think we will get back into our story. So, as our party had ventured into, had this encounter with Bati and found themselves transported back to the vineyard, back to an area of somewhat relative safety. Vidar's sword, Lysithia, Lyle, as the party often refers to it as, had been shattered by his sister's sword, Rylan Talia, being now wielded by Bati, Iska's nemesis. However, through some pre-planning by Lyle, they were able to escape to this sanctuary. Vidar was informed by Lyle that the magics that they had used in order to turn Vidar, this Iskrin, into Vidar, the Hexblade Warlock, would expire at the new moon, and Vidar would revert back to Iskrin, and Lyle, by Scythia, would be lost forever, as part of his soul has been captured by Bati and Rylan Talia. And with an impossible decision from him, was informed by two guides, Lady Coliena and Eva, from their past, that there was one hope, that perhaps Lysithea, a weapon of this power, could in fact be reforged in sort of the mirror side, the ethereal plane that lies underneath the vineyard, the echo of the vineyard itself, in which there is a place known as the Crucible of Souls. If any chance was to be had that Lyle could be reforged, that would be it. However, since part of Lyle's soul is missing, become bonded to Vidar, and Iskrin could never return. Vidar, still uncertain, decided to journey to the Crucible with his companions. So they entered through the mists that were parted like a curtain into this other side, this strange, twisted, magical, ethereal vineyard, where the party was confronted with many of the things that they were carrying within them. Parts of themselves. Iska, a song echoing through her head, and her once untunable violin that had been given to her by her father, now playable. Luna, a cornhusk doll, had special meaning to her, became a companion that walked side by side with her, first as a young girl and then as a teenager, then a young adult, as age began to settle in onto Luna. Luck, being puppeteered by an entity that he had let into himself back during the Battle of Bati, watching and waiting for a time to strike. Axel, carrying Sithrax, the soul eater serpent of death, not as an enemy, but as a companion and a friend. Vidar, encountering past lives of Iskrin, countless different versions telling him how dare he make a decision like this, until the most recent one left it to him, looked him in the eyes and said, do what you believe is right and what you need to do. I've lived 100,000 lifetimes. It was then that the entity within inside, Luck, struck, corrupting all of these things, turning them into monsters that the party then had to fight. As the battle ends, Celia, having plunged the blade into Iskrin, or this strange echo of Iskrin, and that's where we're going to pick up. The battle has ended, but there's still a strange malevolence that hangs in the air. It's not that same vineyard when you first walked in and were within your own memories. There still is a malevolence that seems to be hanging and corrupting in this place. Iska, the tune and notes you were hearing still linger in your mind, and the fact that they became corrupted, and you can't help but feel that worm, that impossibly large centipede that crawled out of your ear and down your face and then battled you. Luna, the doll, Lily, twisted by blood and darkness into that thing that you fought. And then Luck taking a swing at you when you were vulnerable. And his eyes covered with that familiar blood gaze that you had seen once before in a vision. Axel, Sithrax, a now familiar companion, leaping into the shadow, then coming after you. Death stalking you instead of treating you as a friend. Vidar, that last echo of Iskrin, becoming an enemy after he drove away those other versions of himself that he was protecting you from, that he was trying to let you make your own decision with. And Cilia, that drow who walked on your side with a familiar face and a ghost white braid that disappeared into the shadows once the battle began. You see the stone arch looming nearby, but you feel as though you're being watched still. The hairs on the back of your arms prickle as though something is lurking nearby. What would you all like to do?
Celia's gonna look around.
Do me a perception check.
I feel eyes on me. I don't like it. I really don't like it.
On,
We're starting off great.
yeah, on a 27, you can see something lurking in the fog up in that area. Something, an outline. It's humanoid, but you can't quite decipher what it is. They seem to be carrying something, and it's strange. Their outline has jagged edges and strange protrusions on it. It's still obscured by the fog, but it seems to be coming towards you.
Celia will move basically to put herself between it and the party.
Okay. As you do, you see emerging from the fog a familiar figure
Oh god.
as Ambrose steps out of the fog. He's carrying something in his arms. Luck, you recognize what he's carrying. It's grain.
Aww.
Aww.
Ambrose.
Where are we?
How did you get here?
How did?
Yes.
Where is here? Where are we?
Axel.
Is it really you guys?
Well, we don't know if it's
Hi.
really you.
The same question.
This is, I think, sort of like a demi plane.
Ambrose just kind of looks at Grain
Yes.
and looks over at Luck and very hesitantly kind of puts Grain on the ground to see if Grain is going to return to Luck or if he's going to be like hesitant, and he sets Grain down on the ground.
Come here, boy.
Yeah, Grain runs over to you and sort of does his trick running up your arm, but he doesn't go around to the perch on your back. He sort of licks you in the face and sort of, Grain's checking to make sure you're okay. But then when he goes to sort of move around to your back, he starts to growl and sort of look down on the back and then looks you back in the face and sort of whines a little bit.
Aww. Celia's gonna test Ambrose too. Celia just reaches into her cloak, like over by her head. She pulls out Lad Jr. And she says, "Is it him?"
Ambrose, you see a one of your earlier prototypes when you were first building Lad. You had a few prototypes that you went through. This is one you had sort of abandoned. Last you knew it was in the lab. In fact, probably kind of buried in a bottom drawer. How Celia has it, you're not quite sure, because certainly with how you left the lab, this is odd.
Yeah. So when I walked out of the lab, I had Lad with me. Seeing Celia holding this, Ambrose immediately kind of pulls Lad into position, not defensively, but more examiningly to get a better look at it, to see what it is that she's holding. And I think even Lad almost has his own involuntary like, oh, what's that? It's a little me response, and I don't know. I try to do a perception check on what it is that she's holding.
Yeah, I mean, you recognize this. It's just, it's like looking at something that you invented 2 or 3 years ago. Something that was sort of at the back of a drawer.
Where did you get that? Is that from my lab?
Yep.
When were you guys in my lab?
We kind of just up after the windstorm, we were coming back, and we found it trashed. So of course we had to poke around.
What day is it?
What day is it?
Today is Tuesday.
Tuesday.
Yeah.
I mean, it's been a lot going on, and now we're in this plane, and it's sort of all iffy.
Yeah.
It's been a very long Tuesday.
So you've been in my lab since Saturday?
No.
Yes, you all were there on Sunday after having tea.
Yep.
Saturday was the windstorm.
Oh my
It's a
god.
Tuesday, but it feels like a Monday.
We
So you were in there after it was ransacked.
Yes,
who
yeah.
ransacked it?
Well, I don't know if it's a who or more of a what.
The crystal figures.
Oh yeah, the crystal things.
Crystal thing?
That's right. Yeah. She kind of just like she's has Lad Jr. examined Ambrose yet? And does his little thing.
Yeah,
His
and
adorable little thing.
Lad Jr. Sets up these two little ding, 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 and then sort of gives you a little, or turns around and you see like one of his two little red sort of eyes go, and then right in the middle you see a little green, like a ding.
It's him. So he kind of looks at Lad Jr. and says, "Do you want to go back to him?" Aww.
He kind of looks, then he looks to Ambrose sort of for permission of like, see?
He's good with you. Wow, so Tuesday. So it's been 3 days. Wow. So, where are we?
Axel.
And did you send Grain to me? How did Grain even find me?
Can you speak dog?
I can speak a lot of languages, but dog is not one of them.
Then we'll never know.
No, we
Yeah.
didn't.
We're at a place called the Crucible of Souls.
The what?
The Crucible of Souls. And Vidal's gonna pull a little cloth of the shards of Lyle out And he's just going to open them up slowly to show the shattered sword blade. Apparently, we can reforge Lyle here. You know that moon-shaped sword I had? That one.
What happened to it?
Bati happened to it. We saw him in the catacombs.
God, guys everywhere. How did we get here?
We were shown here by Madam Eva Grimm.
I don't know that name.
It's the stone druids, they allowed us into this veiled, curtained area. It's a true vineyard, apparently.
Are they working with grain?
I guess now. Seeing as you're here. Grain's here safely.
If anyone's going to be, working with grain, it would be a druid.
Clearly.
Nice timing.
We had to get it in.
Vax's cameo appearance, everybody.
Yeah.
Really well.
While while the conversation was happening between Sylvia and Ambrose, Axel's subtly trying to get an idea of what's just irritating Grain, sort of just getting a look at what's happening with Luck.
You sort of can take a look around, Luck's sort of the backside. You see his pack, you see, his normal equipment, his you see his his bone shield is bone armor is still up on his one arm, as that has been he summoned it back with the battle with Bati, and it stays up, I believe, until your next long rest. So
next short rest.
Short rest.
Also, I have the wounds that's been caused are knitting themselves up, seemingly.
Yeah. Yeah, for the most part, Ambrose, you definitely notice that, the group is beat to shit. They are in pretty rough shape. This hasn't just been a stroll through a sort of this weird, dark, you can see twisted vines that sort of lay out the path in front of you, but most of it is shrouded in mist and sort of a heavy fog. There are grapes on the trees, but on the vines, but they are somewhat twisted, and you can see sort of weird energy sort of flowing through the mists. Sometimes green, and in some places you see it's tinged with red, deep blood red. That's sort of familiar to you of what you saw flowing into Luck when you examined him back in your first adventure with the crowd, with the group.
Okay, I think first looking around, Ambrose would look, switch his goggles through the various modes just to see if there's anything else that he can pick up.
When you switch through the goggles into various modes, you can see Luck's form is far more cracked than it was before. There is more of this sort of dark red, blood red energy flowing out of them. Before it seems to be contained, you can see sort of on his front side, sort of near his heart and chest, seems to be less so, but sort of at his extremities you see it to be more so. Do you just look at him, or do you kind of give a walk around them to see?
Give a walk around him and just ask him if, what's happened in the last couple days, if, how much has he had to channel this energy, or if anything has changed in the last couple days.
Do me a wisdom saving throw.
That to me or Luck?
To you, Ambrose.
Wisdom.
Yeah, no, you have to get your sheet up. I made sure he didn't log in before I sent him the link, so y'all wouldn't know he was coming.
While we have a brief second, while this is going on, if Iska's going to go around and cure wounds to people, because we are all pretty rough, so I'm just going to burn a few spells on people who are the lowest.
Yeah, and quick mechanical question. Reconstruction gives me, I think it's 4 hit points every 6 seconds.
6 seconds. So yeah, for the most part, you've healed back up. Like I say, Iska, there is sort of this dark. There's still sort of a dark energy flowing around you. You are not completely at ease in this place. On that note, with this wisdom save,
17.
Ambrose, you are able to keep your voice level and even and calm, even though you are trying to be a good scientist. Because when you walk around the backside of Luck with your goggles on, detecting energy, you see a watermelon-sized boil attached to his back. There are small veins and capillaries that are adhering it to him, up to his head, across to his shoulders, down around his waist. It is a bloody, semi-translucent membrane, and there is something moving inside of it. It seems to be slithering around.
Oh my. So, as I said before, Ambrose asked what happened over the last couple days and if anything's changed within Luck.
Nothing that I too much recall of. I guess I was toying around with it a bit more, but I think that could have done something to it. And, well, something happened that when we saw Barty, I can't explain it. It was... I needed more, and I got it.
Looks like it might have come at a cost. Is anybody near, like, immediately adjacent to Luck?
I would say, I mean, he's not super close. I mean, Luck, have you closed in with the party?
Yeah, he's probably closed in with everyone else.
Do me a wisdom saving throw, Luck. On a 25, while no longer possessed and after Luna banished, that, you know, as you were sort of a passenger in your own body for a while, you are now back in control. You felt it retreat, but you do feel that presence, that entity, whatever you let inside, is still inside of you, or still near, and is fighting its way back to have control.
I don't know, it's only a matter of time, is all I can say to that.
Just technical question. If I hand my goggles to somebody else, are they able to see the same thing, or do they in any way rely on Lad's neural link?
Yeah, they rely on that Lad's neural link as well. you might be able to. I mean, they might be able to get a vague impression of it, but it's not going to be the clarity of which that you're able to see.
Okay. Never mind then. I'll just assume that Ambrose describes it to the best of his ability. You know, what he's seeing.
As you guys are talking, you all can be doing this sort of like doing a short rest, or are you guys, with watches, knowing that there is this now something lurking, or how would you all like to do this time as you're coming up to speed? Luna, I got your message, so I know what you're doing.
If there's any more wound curing, once Ambrose kind of catches his breath, he'll cure any other wounds that need cured with cured wounds.
Yeah, I mean, as you recover your charges, for those of us just turning in, Ambrose's clockwork artisan class is based off a warlock, so basically you get your spell slots back after a short rest. So if you want to burn some, you're certainly able to.
Yeah, absolutely.
Celia would be like, heal all of them first, because she's barely down. So
you
they
said that
look
Ambrose
way
notices
worse
that the
than
party looks pretty bad. Who does he?
I mean, if you were in Roll20, you can see, I mean, Iska is way down, Axel's way down. You don't see Luna around.
Luna is
anywhere.
pretty low too.
Yeah, you all do not see Luna right now. She is not in sight.
Vidal's standing by the entrance to the Crucible as well, to those arches.
But he's looking about halfway as well.
You realize it was a
He's
map.
quite cut up.
Okay. Yes. I'll move myself over. So luck looks good. I guess I'll move myself over to Iska and cure Iska. Do some cure wounds on Iska first.
Yep, and you can do that. Spend however many charges you are fully charged. So, thanks, Prax. Welcome.
Hey, Prax.
Spells. Cure wounds. Let's go level 2.
That's 14.
Awesome.
Back to Iska.
And she'll just nod and.
Yeah, you see as one of his little heal bots comes over and starts to sort of suture and put together your wounds. Yeah, luck, you've completely recovered.
Let's see. Walk over to Axel, do the same thing. You said we can't see Luna?
Nope. Yeah, Luna, what are you doing while you recognize Ambrose and see him, sort of enter now, you saw him examine Luck and then start to sort of move around and begin healing members of the party.
She's still gonna keep her eye on that on the pillars that are right there. I think after he's done with everybody else, then she'll sort of drop in at the back.
Yeah, so sort of
12 for
12 for Axel. We'll just say, since you're close by, do you sort of step out from where you are, where he's there in front of you with Axel, or do you want to walk around like around Luck?
Actually, she'd probably walk around.
Okay. So the rest of you sort of see Luna emerge from around the outside of Luck. Luck, as Luna passes by, I need you to make a wisdom saving throw. Oof. You get to reroll ones. Oof.
Oh my goodness.
I think it's only once per time, though, right?
To take the new roll.
You have to take the new roll. As Luna comes by you, you pull out your pick. and you take a swing. As Luna had been your target before. I don't think a 14 hits.
No.
Yeah, Luna, as he comes by, I mean, do you just hand and kunk, catch her, or how do you want to dodge this or not get hit by this attack?
She would catch it and basically twist his arm behind his back. Kind of like lean over in his ear. Do you want to die today or not?
You're back in control of yourself, Luck. It was just an instant.
I'll try and hold on. I'm sorry.
Okay. No, so she's going to. She's got to keep a hold on your hand and sort of turn your face closer to her and like look deep into his eyes. Whatever you are, I am far harder to kill than you think. Let him go.
Nice. You, and then you can head down and, Ambrose, if you want to do some healing to either Vidar or to Luna. Luna is looking pretty rough, even with her her ability to put the fear of God into people.
So definitely approaching Luna with like calm, hey, just want to offer this. It's up to you.
He doesn't look perturbed by you at all.
Okay. This might sting a bit, but I promise it's for the best. And same as cure wounds, level 2.
Ooh, nice. 20
Nice.
points of healing.
I will take that.
Nice.
Take that to the bank.
Damn. I think that's like max heal, isn't it? Pretty much.
That might be.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, 8 and 8. Double 8s, man.
Nice.
Vidar, will you? I don't know. Do you have 8 charges? I believe.
8, yeah.
Yeah. So, Vidar,
should be able
will
to
you
do 2
allow?
more. I'm on
I guess-
big money.
Yeah. Do you approach Vidar? Vidar, do you allow Ambrose to approach?
Vidal's not paying too much attention if he does come over to him. He's kind of just staring at the archers at this point.
Okay.
After he receives that sudden shock of healing magic, he's gonna look up at Ambrose. What is Barty? What is his vengeance? What is that armor he wears? How did he come across all this?
I'm still trying to put this all together myself.
Where did he get that sword? Do you
What?
know anything?
What sword?
Ah, damn it.
By the way, I rolled for cure wounds.
Yes, that's 19 healing to Vidar. Wow. 1 down from max heal.
Yeah.
Talking about all this going on, how did you get here, Ambrose? This is like, I don't know, I think it's like some sort of a planar, maybe an ethereal or demi-plane or something. We had to go through a couple of steps to get here. Did you just walk in? Did Grain just bring you in?
Let me just back up. So, yes, Grain brought me here, but I don't even understand how Grain got to where I was. When you left my lab last Friday, I was high on adrenaline and immediately got to work. It wasn't until even Friday night that I got some sleep. Saturday when I woke up, kept working on the Argorite that we found until Saturday evening when these clockwork fey creatures started ambushing my lab. They came in through the forge. I don't know how they found me. Either they can sense the Argorite, or Bati has had me on his radar this whole time and I didn't know it, not knowing that he had come back. And nothing I initially tried had any effect on them. Any electrical attack I made, it was like I completely failed, as though they were completely resistant to any kind of lightning damage. It wasn't until I pulled out my boomerang that it had any effect on them. Unfortunately, by then my lab was swarmed with these creatures. They were coming in through the forge shoe. So I did what I had to, and I started leaving the lab with a giant thunderclap combined with a static swarm, both to destroy all the fey creatures and, unfortunately, the large chunk of Argorite in the process. Fortunately, I have a safe house to escape to through the violin shop, but there's only one way in and one way out, and only I had the ability to get to it, which is why it doesn't make sense to me how Grain was able to find me. After getting some sleep on Sunday, I woke up on Monday and got back to work, and just lost track of time on, sure enough, I guess it's Tuesday. No more than 15 minutes ago, I heard a strange sound at the door of my secondary lab, and kind of went on alert, assuming it was more of these creatures. Loaded up, and sure enough, when I opened the door, it was Grain. I don't know how he found me or what, but I went out and I picked him up, and as soon as I went to step back in my lab, I showed up here. I don't know how we got here. If it was Grain or these druids you speak of. I'm still not 100% sure where here is, but that's what happened.
How long ago was that?
That Grain came to the door?
Yeah.
About 8 minutes.
Is there anything new on Grain? Like, if we look at him, like, because last we saw him, he had the wooden hand and like a sack, right?
Yeah, the fake money pouch.
Yep.
Yes. Did he come with those things too? Is there anything new on him, like on his like anything different about him?
No, it was just Grain. It was not the hand and not the sack.
Damn it!
Oh no. Well, at least you got rid of the hand, Bird.
I love that hand.
My thief's purse. It's gone.
You have to thieve it back.
Quite the dog. I still don't understand how he was able to find me. The entrance to my safe lab is not as easy as simply walking through a doorway. So for him to be able to track me is quite extraordinary.
If any dog can do it, Grain can.
Is there
Grain
anything
gives
else
you a
you
lick on
want
the
to tell
face
me
when you
about
say
Grain that I don't know?
Did you have any bacon on you at the time?
Well, actually. Never underestimate
Grain.
the power of bacon.
Grain is now Ishkrin.
But I mean, Grain's still sort of in your arms. He gives you a lick on the face when you gave him praise, but then still sort of growls over your shoulder, not pleased about whatever's going on back there.
Hey, so just for a moment, Ambrose kind of looks over and sees what is this creature with a red X through it on the map?
Actually, it is just a right there. It's a pile of black glitter.
I think he's gonna take a quick look at it and examine it, just because he's still trying to figure out where he is and what he's seeing.
Yeah, it's like black glitter with like red sort of dust mixed into it, almost like congealed blood.
Doesn't look anything like the purple shards that the Fey creature shattered into, does it?
Nope, it does not.
And that was the consequences of this place. We were warned that, what is here is what we bring with us. We have to sort of, fight through our parts of ourselves or memories or something. We had to, well, they were friendly at first, well, mine was, and then that went bad, and we had to fight them, and now we're here, and you showed up. We thought you were another one.
I hope not.
Yeah. By the way, if you start seeing any first loves or failed designs that never manifested, please tell us so we can nip that in the bud.
Noted. And he takes another look over at Lad Jr.
Not that one. That one's ours.
Celia just looks at Ladry.
We fought 4 of these creatures. There's 6 of us here.
4. Well, and so with that, he kind of like puts Lad on high alert just to kind of scan the area, just make sure that.
As you put Lad sort of on high alert and sort of take another look around, you can see that the sort of capillaries that were once sort of completely on Luck's back are now starting to crawl over his shoulders towards his front and wrap around his waist, still not closing in sort of on his heart, but whatever's happening to Luck is not done.
Oh.
Look, Celia, did you have, I guess, ghosts, echoes with you? Or everything went bad? Because... No? Well, I mean, kind of things are already still going bad with you, like, but Celia?
You had a... I knew you weren't here, but...
I wasn't here.
So, you
my
had
bad.
You had a drow, a dark elf, with a familiar face, ghost white hair, and a long white braid, who walked with you, and then when the battle broke out, just disappeared into the shadows and has not returned.
Yeah, we were ghosted, man.
Oh, okay. Well, we should all just keep an eye out. Like, are you feeling okay?
I'll be alright. I'll be alright.
Good news. I think I know what the ghost looks like.
That's good news, actually, because then I can try and find them. Well, I don't know if it'll work, but I can certainly try. Sort of looks over to Vidar, who's sort of just at the doorway, probably just not paying attention to what's going on everywhere else. Do we want to move on and maybe get out of here as soon as possible?
Ambrose, how much of the Luck situation have you kept us informed of? Like this recent, the thing moving around? Like, did you explain that, or is that just your information?
No, I think with each change, Ambrose is going to continue to describe it, especially to Iska, knowing the relationship that Iska and Luck has, plus their prior interaction at the lab in the past.
Are we going into the Crucible with whatever is happening to Luck happening? Is there anything we can even do right now?
We don't have a choice. We don't have time.
Celia looks at Luck and says, "Give me your weapons. Hand them over. I'll give them back if we get into trouble, but hand me your weapons."
Doesn't need weapons to be dangerous. We've seen this happen before.
I will keep an eye on it.
Luck will not be a problem.
No, that's whatever's happening to Luck. But what can we do? We don't want to help, but
Right now, like, since we have no idea what exactly is happening with Luck, this is our best option. And she looks back to Luck.
Fine. Take care of it. As he hands over his pickaxe and then crossbow.
Iska's gonna keep an eye on him, and she has hold person ready to go if just as some means of stopping him non-violently without punching.
yeah, without Luna.
You do what you want.
Yeah, Luna is the backup plan B.
Yes.
As far as you're concerned, she is.
We hope she is.
Yeah, Luna's fists are always plan A to Luna.
Yeah.
She has feet.
So
And elbows.
we're gonna switch over to Vidar for a second while you guys are back sort of around Luck.
Alright.
Vidar, as you try to, or sort of get closer to these pillars and try to push your way forward or see forward, there's a resistance that sort of is pushing you back, as though there's some protection field around these stones.
So it's like walking into a wall that's not there, or is it just
More like, I mean,
when
you could
Ness
push
and
into
push
it,
back?
but it gets harder and harder to move forward the more you try to pass between the two of them. It's not like a hard wall.
He's going to just quickly move over to one of them and just have a little inspection of it. Just
Do me
Look up
an
and
investigation check.
are there any runes on it?
As you look around, there are. I mean, there's some of these. It's easy to spot. It's some of the primitive runes that that you've seen before. These seem even more ancient and more elaborate.
He's just gonna run one hand over it, see if he can look at the runes in a way of maybe finding the right one that will deactivate it or find out something about it.
Do me an Arcana check.
This, or what he needs to. Okay, with that,
It seemed to be sort of a general ward and protection.
looking over it, he takes a step back and thrusts his hand out and fires an Eldritch Blast in frustration, just screaming, "Come on!"
As you fire it, before it passes through the stones, it just all but evaporates and dissipates as though the magic is sheared apart.
He just puts his head down. He goes over to Luna. Luna, could you get the ring out? I'm going in.
He does so.
And he spends his time in darkness.
Okay.
He puts himself into the void.
Sort of,
He, in the ring here, he imagines his space, it changes into a constant swirling darkness of the night sky. And he just curls up into a ball.
Okay.
so I think following the outburst, Axel's of course going to walk over before he can even ask what went wrong, but I was gone. So he has to
You can do me an Arcana
Okay.
check.
look at the pillars and figure out what this is. Having a character with Arcana is nice. It is nice. I've got to use my portent on that one.
Okay.
So
You can do that.
21. So 21.
On a 21,
See,
this is very much sort of a protection from evil and corruption. You're able to decipher basically the idea that souls are vulnerable within this place, and corruption. This is to keep corruption out.
Interesting. He's going to sort of do the whole push on it with his good hand.
And you sort of still get that sort of somewhat entering, somewhat not. It's the force is harder and harder to try to force to make your way through.
He's going to see if there's any difference when it comes to the corrupted hand.
And with the corrupted hand, well, with the Sithrak's hand, it does.
Actually,
it's or go ahead.
That's a question. Is Sithrax gone, or is it?
Oh no!
Still there.
When the shadow was banished, Sithrax was there as the normal tattoo around your neck,
Okay. Yeah.
just like the Cornhusk doll. Folks, remember to leave your Zoom chat open. I'm got some whispers for some of you.
Not that time, audience. Noted.
And as you take the hand with the Vice Magic Surge,
It's just Joe gently testing it.
yeah, it does not go through.
Oh,
Your other hand went further, but it still is repelled.
so it seems to be some sort of ward against, corruption of, the souls within. It protects against magic, as we saw. It certainly is a bit more forceful when it comes to, actual corruption. I couldn't. Yeah. It seems to be what it is. I mean, maybe there's some sort of method of getting through. Maybe a password or something. Can't recall if Eva or Lady Eva and the other one, the other one, told us anything about that. Do any of you remember?
Just the only just they had given you that that about having to face what you brought within you, and your observation before about four you fought four things.
Maybe we need to finish off the ghosts.
Luck, will you make me a wisdom saving throw?
So it looks over to Luck and Sylvia.
17. On a 17, you feel the scratching on the back of your mind again. Come on now. I'm already here. Why don't you get some rest?
Shut up.
There's a little whimper from Grain. He's sort of curled up in your arms.
Celia looks to Axel and says, let me go talk to Vidar real fast. And then we can discuss things further. He's not in a good place, and I need to have a conversation with him.
Hold up, ring.
Yep. Celia will give Luna Lux weapons
Yep.
and be like, send me in.
Zoop. You go inside the ring.
And I'm gonna go find Vidar's safe place.
As you go in, you enter into darkness. There is a cold, dark night overhead. The stars are there, but they're not twinkling in a beautiful way. They just sort of stare down coldly. And you see in just a small pool of light the dark clothes, deep indigo violet hair of Vidar.
Celia will slowly walk over and just kind of sit right next to Vidar, and she'll kind of look over to him and she'll say, you need to talk to me.
Today sucks. Today's horrible. What the hell are we doing? And he just turns his head over and looks towards her. He's still like curled up in a ball in the fetal position on the ground, but like arms wrapped around his legs.
Celia kind of looks up at the sky and says, I guess we're just going wherever fate takes us.
See, that was the thing with him. He was bound by that. He could just pop in and out wherever he wanted. It's way too much. Once this is all said and done, if we can bring Lyle back, and this whole thing's done for, can we just live in peace, please?
We can certainly try. Celia says, I guess this is a life we chose, I guess. And that was also Funnily enough, chosen forest.
Literally the life given for myself too. So, whereas choice came in for you, I don't know. I guess I just feel pressure to succeed, but at the same time, I know it's not mine. I don't know. I'm having doubts.
That comes with being immortal.
That sucks. Don't.
Vidar, you know, whichever decision that you make, I'm with you.
I know. I just want to try. For the first time, I feel like I'm not aloft, like I'm being dragged in a rush. It's a horrible feeling. The last week has been amazing. Well, we've had some run-ins, but it's been fun. I guess. You know what? Even though you put your blade straight through him again, I'm glad that you do love him. That you love us both. Well, I hope you do.
As much as you try to keep his life separate from yours, you're still the same person. It's just a different life. Same still, different life.
That's one way to look at it, to be honest. Best offense is good defense, and that way around as well. And he's going to roll on around, so he's laying on his back and looking up at the stars, and just glancing over towards her as well.
The stars have begun to twinkle a little bit. Not much, just a bit.
And he's just going to stare at her for a bit. Awkward second passes. Do you think I should take up his mantle? Or should I take up our mantle? I don't know. I want Lyle, but there's so much. There's so much. It's going to take time, isn't it?
Whichever decision that you make is gonna have repercussions. The question is, which one is worse?
I could give you a list, but I'm not going to do that. The only thing I'm going to say is, with him gone, I have no idea how we'll find the anchor. Deal with never-winning threats. But you know what?
Vidar,
I want.
we will do what we need to do, just like we have always done.
He's gonna roll over and put head on lap. I think I needed to hear that.
So come on, make it a little brighter in here.
He's going to close his eyes, and the star's going to shine, and a crescent moon's going to appear in the sky as well. Very similar to the night that Celia and Ishgrin had a very stealthy night together.
So reminiscent of your night.
You're muted, Jay.
Oop, thank you. Reminiscent of your night in East, or up near East, out on the fields. As you were learning to be stealthier after coming out of the vice and having made it alive. You guys stare up at the stars. And we're going to cut back to the outside. Ambrose, as you sort of moved over towards Luck, you heard him whisper something under his breath, and your goggles showing that things are not great. It seems as though almost these capillaries from this, whatever it is, boil, this thing, this cocoon that's on his back, are spreading further and further. It's really the only untouched place is where he is holding Grain sort of tightly against his chest.
Yeah, so as Ambrose kind of walks around Luck, giving him another look over, examining him as much as he can. It looks like Luck can't take much more of whatever this is. And he says, I had wanted to wait until we were in a better, more controlled environment for this, but we're going to have to do it here. And he pulls out the one chunk of agarite that he had already cut off from the big chunk that the party stole before the Fey creatures were able to ransack the lab, and the rest of it had to be destroyed. He pulls out this chunk and sticks it in Lad, and has Lad crawl up onto Luck, and he just tells Luck, I think you know what to do with this.
Isn't this the only way to stop Bati's doll?
We have to do it one way or another.
So is this part of that plan or part of a different plan?
This is what has to happen.
I mean, you guys know you need negatively charged Argerite to react with soul charged Argerite.
Alright.
Alright.
Yeah, the only thing Ambrose doesn't know now is how much control Luck has, and he's crossing his fingers that it's a big enough piece of agarite and that Luck has enough control not for it to go, catastrophic.
Give me something sharp, quickly.
Ambrose pulls out one of his daggers.
Takes a deep breath, looks at his hand, and sort of down the center of his sort of palm, once again, invoking a sort of fire through it, and then sort of using that method of blood to invoke it through the agarite.
Okay.
Remember, this is a chunk. I mean, that piece in the lab was like, jewelry size. This is,
so he's
like
a
a
baseball
baseball.
size.
yeah, so he's like proper slit his hand and put his hand on.
So you put your hand on this and you begin to feel the energy
Ambrose takes a step back.
start to flow out of this. And Ambrose, Lad needs to stay over there on him.
Whoops. Yeah, sorry. Whoops.
Yeah.
33. There we go. There we go.
As this is happening, you can start to feel that loss of control as you start to charge the Agorite, as that connection is made again, and you hear in your mind, yes. And it starts flowing the energy out of you, pulsing up into Lad and into the Argorite. You feel almost like a tugging on your bones as the bone armor starts to get drawn up to this Argorite. I need you to make a Constitution saving throw. As literally your bones start to crack as it's almost ripping the shield off of you. On a 9, you fail. Let's see. You take 13 points of bludgeoning damage as basically the bone shield is ripped off of your arm and sort of gets sucked up almost through your body. You can feel it sort of traveling almost like a tumor moving through your bones, through your shoulder, back into your back. And you hear that, yes, what? No! And Ambrose, you will see as that whole sort of boil starts to drain and pool upwards towards Lad and starts to get sucked into the Argorite, ripping away from it. Luck, I need you to make a wisdom saving throw followed by another Constitution saving throw. Nice. You are able to, like, having felt the pain before, and there's like a clearing of your mind as this starts to pull into it until, Ambrose, you see the entire boil just lock itself up into the Argorite, and Luck sort of back in his... Oops, we lost someone. Into his sort of normal cracked state. But you see Lad there holding the Argorite, and as you look, you see what looks like bone start to surround the outside of the Argorite, getting thicker and thicker, and you see Lad starts to shake and whir uncontrollably, his compartments and panels all sprinking open, including one that you never open. A compartment that holds his Storm Soul gear. It continues on, shaking, getting louder, getting worse. And you see this bone heart begin to extend and start to create appendages, and you see this gear, the Storm Soul gear, one of only 2 that exists that you know of, begins to swell and then divide like an amoeba, and then begin to replicate around itself, becoming bigger and bigger, until in almost a blink of an eye, you see 2 creatures begin to form in front of you.
Okay.
One getting larger and larger, created from bone itself with the heart of Agorite.
Oh no!
Long, bony appendages, wings, and a tail out of nowhere. And next to it, something familiar and terrifying to you, Ambrose. Something that you hadn't seen even a prototype of back in the lab with Bati. A large clockwork construct covered in armor, at its heart beating a Storm Soul gem. A reminder of why you and Bati parted ways. I need all of you to roll initiative.
Stars sure are beautiful, aren't they, Celia?
They really are.
Just so I understand, did Lad turn into these?
No, basically what happened, it all popped open. The Argorite turned into this giant bone sort of construct, and his Storm Soul gear basically, by some weird thing, all but like an amoeba, split, and then this other sort of copy gear then grew into this giant construct.
The Lad is still functional on...
Lad is still functional and there with you.
Do we want me to take over Luna until Alicia gets back?
Yes, that would be great.
I imagine she's just gonna yank you two
Yeah,
out of your.
I figure she's going to
These
yank you
full
guys
fun
out
time.
of...
Yeah, you.
Oh yeah, we're in another fight, guys.
Oh,
This is just like
these beautiful stars! My God, what is that?
Pretty much.
Oh, these beautiful stars. Can I assume this is a short rest?
In there, I would say that is a short rest for you.
Oh, yay.
I'd like you to spend
We said we were taking a short rest, right?
Okay,
Just,
alright, cool.
Beginning of that.
I'm just checking. I've lost my mutagen stuff after that, right?
Yes, you've basically
my-
been stripped down. Everything that you had has gone into these two things. Folks out there, is the music a bit loud? Let me know if it is. I think that it might be.
So the Dragonhide armor is a old 18. So my armor class right now stands at 19. Oh, hang on.
A little bit of a gap on my music. There it is again. Did everyone remember to click on your tokens when you're rolling your initiative?
Oh. Dang. Do I need to re-roll?
We'll put in your original one, but yeah, click on your token and then do it.
Do you want Celia and Vidar to go ahead and...
Go ahead and go ahead and roll just so that we know where you're going to be. Your curse, of course, are out of it right now. So.
Oh, Celia, you're such a good rogue.
Where's your first one? 22. Wow, look
22.
at that. Yeah. Look at that with a nat 20. Well, and you were standing right there, so that actually makes good sense.
Yeah.
We got everyone in there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yes, except I need to get my Myrmidon. There we go. So, Ambrose, you were right there. You have seen what has happened here. You had a front row seat. What do you... I know everyone's got the wrong names out there, chat. We're waiting for Luna to hop back in, and then we'll move back over to the other screen. So just bear with us while we are getting back in it. But yeah, you are up, Ambrose, as you see these two creatures, one of bone that had been formed out of this Argorite that then got surrounded bigger and bigger by a bone sort of shielding around it. Then it began to sprout into this horrific demon-like structure, just being animated bones and sinew with long teeth and a whip-like tail.
So there's that one, and then there's the other one.
Yeah, and then of course there's this construct which is frighteningly familiar to one of the reasons why you and Bati parted ways. The experiments getting to larger and larger creatures and him stealing your Storm Soul gear.
Look like okay. Do they look like the same construction as the Fey creatures at all?
They do not. These look much hardier. The heart gear that you saw in the Fey creatures gave you pause because you worried that it was a Storm Soul gear. They were truly a cheap knockoff, even apparently with Bati's added time experimenting, has never been able to reproduce the work you did together to make soul gears.
So it was a cheap knockoff of what I'm seeing right now.
No, what you're seeing now is the real deal. What was in the Fey creatures is a cheap knockoff. This one basically is a exact reproduction. The gear that you saw was an exact reproduction of what is in Lad, which is his Storm Soul gear is what gives him his intelligence, his AI.
Mm-hmm. Well, my concern is that one will probably have resistance to lightning damage, the way that the fake creatures did.
Only one way to find out.
Yeah. Okay, let's see. Okay, trying to remember how many missiles magic missile is.
It's 3 on a one charge, then 1 more plus each additional.
Okay, so I'm gonna use magic missile, sending 2 to the bony one and 1 to the not bony one.
Okay. Go ahead and roll that up. Cool. We'll do the first 2 going to the bony one. That looks like it only rolled 1. Oh yeah, so roll them in. We had that you roll them each individually.
Oh, just hit it 3 times?
Yeah,
Okay.
hit it 3 times.
Yeah, they changed it.
There you go. So the first 2 going into the bony one with, let's see, just double check. Yep, goes slamming into the bony one. Seem to do damage on it just fine. As this force damage goes in there and sort of cracks, you hear the crack of bone as they go slamming into it, doing 9 points of force damage to it.
Isn't there these are is this supposed to be force damage or is it lightning damage?
I believe we kept these as force damage, as they were actually like little missiles. Because
Okay.
And then as the clockwork Myrmidon goes in, this one goes in and does 2 points of 2 points of damage. It slams into him, seems to affect it. Not much damage on this large creature, but does go slamming into it as a small projectile launches into it. Is there anything you'd like to do with your bonus action? Or movement?
I don't think I have any bonus actions.
Yeah, I think most of your stuff goes through Lad for that, so.
Yeah, no, I think I'll just probably move.
Okay.
And move probably over here to get a better... And I'll probably recall Lad.
Okay, so you can recall Lad to yourself.
Position over here to look at them better.
So you see the Clockwork Myrmidon, the Storm Soul Myrmidon, look to you all and let's see. That'll work. Let's see, or maybe that. Within how far? Yep. You see a port open up on the front of it, and you see a large sort of ball of black tar come shooting out from it, and then land on the ground. Right there is a huge sort of blob of grease. Ooh, that's right. Neither one of the two of them are actually there. So I already said I did it. So Luna, I need Luna to make a dexterity saving throw.
I still can't get roll 20 to work right now, so somebody else will still have to roll my sheet for me, but I'm here.
Oh, cool. Okay.
All right, monk saving throw, was it?
Dexterity.
Dexterity. I believed with the 24.
With a 24, absolutely. Yeah, you do not fall prone. And that's it. Anyone entering this area, it's basically a grease spell. So anyone entering there or moving through there is going to need to make dexterities to not fall prone and lose their movement. That is you. Vidar, you're looking at the stars.
It's so pretty.
I look up at Celia and smile and say, "Thank you."
Luna, you've got two folks in the ring with you as you're
Yeah, they're
surrounded
coming
by
out.
grease.
Yeah, they're coming.
So you pop them out.
Yep.
Yep. The two of
Sitting
you-
as we
Yeah.
sitting as we are.
You find yourself sitting now in a in a square of oil. Or actually, yeah, sitting / lying prone in a blob of grease on the ground.
Why are we not? What?
You can, you see these two large creatures sort of up by the rest of the party that were definitely not there before. And there's this crazy battle music in the background. You don't know what it is.
Alicia, I need to also remind you that Luna has Lux weapons.
Say again?
Said Luna has Lux weapons.
Yes, she does.
I think Ambrose is going to yell to Luck. You feeling better, buddy?
Yeah, Luck, you're feeling a lot better. In fact, you are feeling as clear-headed as you have in a long
I'm going to
time.
get this meta pickaxe.
Yeah,
those
similar
are
to last time. So, I'd say, if you wanted to, I'd say that pulling someone out of the ring. I think way back in Vice things we said is a bonus action, so that's fine. If you want to use your action to throw Luck his pick, or not.
I'll make do with my hands.
Sorry. So for clarification, did Luck respond when it's just like, oh, hey, are you feeling better? Did he respond?
It just gives a thumbs up.
All right, she'll toss both weapons his way.
Ooh.
Okay, you see flying through the air the pick and
Crossbow.
crossbow. Do me just a. Do me a either athletics or acrobatics to catch them. That you can either muscle your way to get them or whatever. 13 is fine. You can catch. So, which brings us to Luck. You are staring down, as we said, your Crimson Right and your mutagens have been stripped from you.
All right. You know what? Just because I like the flavor of it, it's not a very efficient way of playing my setup, but I'm still going to do it because it's a cool scene.
Hey, do it.
As he catches the weapons, he pulls up his left arm and first fires a crossbow at this bone demon.
Okay.
Wait.
Yep.
17.
17. It goes flying through the air, and as it just hits on one of the harder places of bone, tink, and falls to the ground. No damage.
And then he will charge forward with his pickaxe.
Okay.
And 19.
A 19 just hits you
Yes.
as it sort of rebounds and twists around to move the sort of deflect off that crossbow bolt. It leaves itself open, and you come in with a pickaxe, hard and strong.
Alright, just taking off the +2 because I do have my other hand occupied right now.
Yep.
Okay. Oh, no, I'm supposed to click damage.
Yep.
There we go.
So yeah, again, force damage. You hear bones crack and break as your pick goes slamming into this entity, and it swings around, and you see its jaw sort of unhinge into this giant maw of nasty teeth.
Bring it!
Anything else? Anything you want to do
Nope.
with bonus?
I am good.
Okay. Iska.
Okay, Iska is going to move a little bit back. You know, she's still not doing great health-wise. So,
As you move back, as you move back, that unhinged jaw on the bone demon goes even a little bit wider, and out from it, you see this giant nest of tentacles, to you very familiar, Luck. Reach out and start to entwine you. I need you to make me an intelligence saving throw.
okay.
On a 15, you become paralyzed. as
Okay.
the venom around it, and it drags you all the way right up to itself
Cool.
and reels you in. And
Just do it, Jay.
I am.
Don't be a
And
coward. Just do it.
with its long claws reach down into you. I need you to make, as it does its bone extraction attack, I need you to give me a Constitution saving throw. On a 13, you are not able to hold this off as you take 21 points of slashing damage as it rips 3 of your ribs out of your chest and then adds them back into itself. And you see the wounds that Luck and the others have made seal back up.
Cool.
As your bones are now added to its.
Cool.
Celia, you are up.
Can I? Yeah, I'm technically prone. I'm gonna use 15 feet to stand up.
Yep. And I do, if you're going to move out of this area, I do need you to make a dexterity check to get out of this grease slippery area.
Dexterity check or save?
It is a dexterity save, yes.
Okay. That's a natural 20.
Natural 20, yeah, you can move at will.
All right, I'm going to use my bonus action to dash.
Okay, yep, you get right up there, no problem at all.
All right, and
Yep, on a 14, unfortunately, you do not hit. As it's swinging around with Iska sort of in this maw of tentacles, you don't want to hit her and are unable to connect.
sad face. Then I will. Let me see here. It was 15, 5, 10. What am I able to use my I gotta find it.
As I say, you've already disengaged. You've
Yeah,
already used
my,
this bonus for dash.
My armor.
Yes,
That
it is dim light, so you absolutely can invoke your armor if you still have 5 movement left.
I do.
So yep, you can burn the 5 movement to disengage because you are in shadowy light.
Oh, I could get. That's weird. It skips 10 feet.
Well, we all know that. Yeah, we know that. That's. I don't know why it's doing that. So we all know that. Yeah, it's 2 squares.
Yeah, I have like 20 feet of movement left on my dash.
Okay, so yeah,
So
5
I
of the gaze
can
marks. You can move 15, 3 squares.
Yep, I'll move right here.
Cool. Axel, you are up.
Alrighty then. So Celia is not Celia. Iska is actually gripped.
Iska is grappled in this nest of tentacles, sort of hanging from this bone demon's mouth, and you can see that she is still breathing, but is basically just had 3 ribs ripped out of her chest by this thing.
Yeah. He is just gonna growl, "Clobber!" and he is going to cast a fireball with force damage to get both creatures. It's just
Nice.
this high-pitched whine of a build-up, and then boom.
Cool. So yeah, I assume position it so that it's going to hit them. They are large creatures, so certainly they will give cover to Iska and the party, as well as just being able to position it fairly well. So go ahead and roll me that force damage as it explodes, almost like instead of exploding in fire, almost explodes like into ball bearings that just go shattering and rattling across these. They have a dexterity saving throw, I believe.
Yep, DC 14.
They both, saving throws dex on this one. They do seem to be somewhat immune to magical, or not immune, resistant to magical effects. They both do save, but they still are going to take, looks like 12 points of damage. You hear the bones cracking, and you see like little pinpoint holes in the Myrmidon's armor created by these this explosion of sort of magical ball bearings that just pepper the whole thing. It's like a shotgun going off. Anything else you would like to do?
Just gonna draw his axe. Yeah, no, and he's just gonna sort of slip to the side here, so that he's sort of got cover around the edge of this. Yeah, because going up to help Iska, yeah, actions done.
Okay. Next up is this bone armor demon, having been born of luck and now being hit by it, and it is going to go after luck. It's going to make 2 claw attacks first. On a 23.
Yeah, that's gonna hit.
And a 21. For 10 and 11 slashing. It is non-magical, though.
Wonderful.
As it does both of those from up over its back, you see the giant stinger come swinging around, and you are able to fend it off on a 15. I assume that you knock it out of the way as the stinger comes around, dripping with this black ichor from the tip of it, tinged slightly with red, like blood. And that will be its turn. Yeah, it's staying right there. Ambrose, you are up.
Okay. Trying to remember how to measure. Yep. Okay. That's good. Yep. Okay. So, seeing that I still don't, that since lightning damage is Ambrose's specialty, and he's still not sure if lightning damage is going to have any effect on them, I'm going to cast Static Swarm.
Okay.
Now, I'm going to cast it with Storm Mastery since Lad is on my shoulder. It goes down. Let's see. So, that I'm going to cast it right here, because for them to be hit, they have to be within 5 feet of it.
Yeah,
so.
If you put it right in the center, you will hit both of them.
So I want to hit. Yeah. Well, I want to. Here's the thing. I want to choose a point that hits them and not Iska.
Yeah, where you're talking about would absolutely work. Again, their body is basically sort of protecting Iska as this one's turning around and facing Luck, so you can put it behind them, and Iska's sort of hanging out of its mouth. So,
okay.
Yep. Go ahead and you can place it.
Okay.
Especially since you're using, I assume you're using, if you're using
Storm Mastery, targeting reticle, the whole.
Yeah, the whole shebang. So yeah, you have advantage on the attack and are able to do precise targeting.
Okay. Static Swarm. Level 3.
Cool. So they've got 15 dexterity save. Again, these do have some magical resistance. They have advantage on these. That one's going to save.
Before we do that, is there any advantage to using Storm Mastery with this, since it's a dex save instead of well, I guess you have
Yes, 'cause
advantage.
it's still half damage, so it means that it's maximized.
Oh, that's right. It hits him with max damage.
Right, so it's still hitting it with max damage, which is 30.
30, yeah. Each, right? To
Yeah,
each
so
of
it's
them.
30 each. So the thing is that if they save, it's 15, but if they don't, it's the full 30. Whereas if you did it normally, it would only be 7.
Yeah.
So Dex save, he does not have it. What is your saving throw again? 15. They both save just barely, but will still each take. So you see as the Bone Devil, the lightning sort of flows through it, and it just racks and rattles with all of it, of the 15 points of damage. However, the Myrmidon does seem to be grounded in some way, and while it does take damage, you see burn marks forming on it. Does not seem to do the amount of damage that you would have expected it to.
So no bearing on how much damage the Myrmidon took.
I mean, we know that you don't play lightning. It's resistant. It's resistant, not immune.
So yeah, halves damage.
Half damage.
That's half. Okay. So he takes what, 7.5 hit points?
7 you round down in D&D.
Oh,
Yeah.
all right. And the bone guy did take the full 15.
It seemed to, yes.
Okay. I think that is the end of my turn.
Okay.
And before I end, though, that, correct me if I'm wrong, that Static Swarm continues each round, right?
Ooh, remind me what it's based off of again. Give me a second. Let me look.
Call Lightning.
Oh yeah. Yeah. So yeah, you
without additional charge, without the need for additional charges is the point.
Right. Yeah. So it's call lightning. So you can call down bolts of lightning from it each turn.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah. You don't have to use any additional charges. Yeah. Oh yeah. I forgot. That's a really good spell. If you have room, and you do here because we're
Well,
outside.
if you have room, you're outside, and 2 creatures are next to each other.
Yeah.
It's a beautiful spell.
Yeah. There you go. Look at Axel on top of it, our resident one. So that is your whole turn. You're staying.
Yeah. I might just back up just a little bit more to
Okay.
make sure. But aside from that, yeah, that's my turn.
Okay. Cool. Next up is this Storm Myrmidon, and let's see. As you watch, you see one of its hands and arms folds into each other, and as it reforms, you see it's in the shape of a giant war pick, and it comes running across towards Ambrose, and it's gonna take some swings with that heavy pick at you.
Can I get an attack of opportunity if it goes past?
Yeah, I'll say you can get an attack of opportunity as it goes past with your axe.
Yep. He could do something.
Can Ambrose activate his shield? Not shield, but just the mage armor.
You have not said that to this point. It takes an action to do that. You can do your reaction shield, but your mage armor would have needed to take an action earlier.
Okay.
So wow, with a
13, because
So,
he takes run past 2 hands, drops down, tries to take out one of the legs
nice.
or scrape one of the
Wow,
leg.
that was really good hit. Look at you, Axel.
Two things.
Doing 13 damage. Because on 25 it hits, and that's your magic axe. So yeah, it right through, and it still limps forward. A 27, I'm sure, is going to hit Ambrose.
Yeah. No matter what.
Yep. So you take 13 piercing damage and 1 necrotic. And then it's going to drop a shoulder for its other attack and slam its shoulder into you. A 24, I assume, is going to hit.
Mm-hmm.
And that's for 15 bludgeoning and 6 necrotic.
Oh my gosh.
And it's basically right there in your face. You can hear the clicking and clockwork mechanisms inside of it churning as it attacks you.
So, hold on. I'm trying to remember. Doesn't Static Swarm? It's like based on whether or not I can hold
Concentration.
Concentration. So
right?
yep, you need to do 2 con saves, and it. Let's see, that's 19, so it's DC 10. You've got to do 2 DC 10 con
I just
saves.
click
Just
Constitution.
click Constitution, unless you're. I can't remember. Are you proficient in Constitution? So it's the saving throw box. Yeah, to the right of the things you're saving throws, up at the top of where like your stealth and all that stuff is.
Yep.
Yeah, there's like 6 boxes on the
6
left.
boxes. Just click on Constitution there twice.
Ooh.
So yeah, your static swarm, all the bots fall to the ground.
My Swarm Mastery doesn't keep that advantage, does it?
Nope.
Alright.
You do have donations. Remember, if you'd like to burn, at this point, the only thing you could burn would be a mulligan. And you guys do need to keep track. This is a new combat, so you still have 5 for any donation dice.
Okay. I guess can I mulligan the first one?
Yes, you can mulligan the first one.
What is the Constitution I'm trying to save against?
10.
Oh, it's only 10. Oh, geez, wow.
Yeah, it's. Spell saves are pretty forgiven.
Yep. So you
Okay.
keep concentration. The storm remains up.
And then this is just combat donation.
Yep. So you just take down combat donation by 1 and take down your other dice by 1. Luna, you are up. You are standing.
Cool.
You're standing in grease, so I do need you to go ahead and make, as you're starting your turn inside of the spell, you need to make a dexterity saving throw to see if you.
Even if I'm not going to move.
Oh. It actually reads that if you start your turn, so that you don't slip. A creature that enters the area or ends its turn there. No, it's enter. You're right. I'm sorry. Enters the area or ends its turn.
Okay.
So if you don't move, then you'll have to make it.
Fair. So I have to make it either way. Fair enough. Sorry, I just need to check the range on something real quick. Okay. So I guess I will go ahead and take, step out of as soon as I
One
click
step
on
out
that
of the
thing.
grease. Yep.
Yep. So I'll make that dex save.
Did we skip Vidar?
I think you did actually.
I totally skipped Vidar. Sorry.
Okay.
You did.
You should have yelled at me, buddy.
Yeah, he was saying, you look so lost.
He was just like, I just had this nice moment.
I was playing D&D and then they
Vidar's looking at the stars.
Still sad. Well, do you want
Rudely
to
yank it out.
my turn?
Yeah.
Okay, all right.
You're prone currently, so you'd have to use 5 points of movement to stand.
Can I roll out of the grease?
Sure.
I roll out of the grease, and I'm gonna do like a little backwards roll and stand on up. And I'm just gonna say, "This is tedious," and I'm going to throw my hand up into the sky and see if I can look at the stars if there's any there.
Currently, it is sort of the fog-covered sky with these sort of weird magical motes of red and green floating through it above you.
Fantastic. I'm gonna rip down 8 of those little motes and summon moonlight shards as these 8 little shards of floating moonlight come and swirl around my form.
Yep. You see, even though you can't see them, through the fog, you see these 8 moonlight shards come down to you and then begin to rotate around your head, orbiting.
And that should be radiant. All right, so I'm going to send one flying, streaking over towards the construct,
Okay?
and I'm going to send the other one as a bonus action. These 2 both fly out
Yep.
towards, so 1 for each,
And
and
then-
just above their heads or behind them, so they don't catch the rest of the party.
Gotcha. So yeah, as large creatures, you are able to do that. So it's dex saves. 19 on the Myrmidon, and a 19 on the Bone Devil. However, they still do each take respectively. Which one went to which? First one went to Myrmidon or to Bone?
First one went to Myrmidon.
Okay. Takes, and you are correct. It is radiant.
Yeah.
Takes
And
7 radiant damage, and the other one, I'm sorry, takes 3 radiant damage, and the other one takes 5. It looks like. Yep.
question: do I have access to my orbital blades ability?
You do not, as currently Lysithia is shattered.
Cool. And that's going to be his turn.
Okay. Now it's Luna. Sorry.
Okay, cool. We'll go ahead and get this dex save out of the way since I got to do it either way. Dex. Yeah, she's fine.
Yeah. It's Luna.
It's just like, oh, I'm surfing. Cool.
Yes.
You are all up in that thing's grill, and I do not appreciate that. So, we're gonna go ahead and give Ambrose Sanctuary.
Okay.
There you go, buddy.
Cool. So it will have to make a wisdom saving throw in order to attack Ambrose or pick another target.
Right.
Cool.
That is my bonus action, so we're gonna... Because there, I'm not actually within melee range of it, am I?
Where you are, absolutely. It's a large creature. It's 10 by 10.
Oh, okay, well, in that case, we're gonna punch it in the face.
Oh, yeah, you can do
Well,
that.
not... Yeah, okay.
Well, punch it in the whatever.
In the calf, I don't know, whatever. It's getting punched.
Get it, like, right in the hamstring.
Exactly.
Charlie horse it.
Get in the ankle.
Yeah, the second one should hit.
Yeah, the 12 does not hit, but the second one, you absolutely nail it. Sort of right there in the hamstring. You find it like a weak spot in its armor. And push right through, yeah, for 8 bludgeoning damage. Your fist, like make a huge dent in the side of it. You haven't completely punctured into its thigh armor yet, but you can hear as it's like lifts its arm to retract from it, you hear scraping and grinding, where now that you've dented this plate, that it's affecting its internal mechanisms.
Sweep the leg! Sweep the leg!
You going for the sweep? Oh, no, you already did your bonus, so.
I already did my bonus, yeah.
Cool.
We're done.
Next up is Luck. You are right there, basically claw and maw to this bone demon. Hanging right below its jaws, you see Iska sort of caught within this nest of tentacles that are horrifyingly familiar to you.
What are the chances of pulling her out?
It'd be a strength check.
All right, I shall try that then.
Okay.
Not athletics, just straight up strength.
It is. Give me 1 second. No, you're right. It's athletics.
All righty. You know what?
Yeah, it's like breaking a standard grapple. So yeah.
All right. You know what? I love your chat, so I'm spending an advantage.
There you go. Thank you, chat, for all your donations.
I'm sorry, chat. I let you down. I shall. Yes. You know what? Iska's very important, so we'll spend the mulligan as well.
Okay.
She's died before, dude. You don't have to if you don't want to.
Look. We can't be having. There we go. We can't be having a dead Iska again.
Yeah.
You know the paperwork.
You realize the paperwork
Where? I died. Boo-hoo.
I said it'd be fine.
So, yeah, you are able to rip Iska out of the tentacles and into your arms as you are face to face with this. That does take your action, though, in order to do that.
Now, am I brave enough? Of course I am. I am going to take the mighty option of
Run away.
yes, the mighty option of a tactical retreat, or also known as how far can I throw Iska? No,
Wait,
probably not the best idea. She doesn't look like she's in good condition.
Yeah.
She's paralyzed and has 3 fewer ribs. So
Yeah,
it's a
I'm not
soft
gonna
landing,
throw you.
At least it's a very soft landing.
Yeah, you just squish.
Oh.
So, look,
can throw her
are
on
you
top
staying
of
there?
Axe,
Are you going to retreat with Iska?
Hot potato Iska through the party here.
Yeah. Oof. I'm gonna take the risk of making sure. Yeah, Iska's safe, so we'll take the tactical retreat.
Okay, go ahead and as you stand by.
Red 5, stand by.
It's a new round. As you start to run away, its jaw descends and wrap around you, or try to wrap around you, and totally frickin' miss on a nat 1. We're going to call this that as the tentacles go out to bind themselves around you, that almost recognizing their host just kind of go, not so much. And yeah, you can move 15 feet with you and Iska away from the bone demon as, damn it, a nat 1. Ugh. Chat, can you believe this? I had a nat 20 and a nat 1.
I'm the papa of these tentacles.
Yeah, pretty much. So yeah, you can go ahead and move yourself, and then Iska will end up there right beside you.
We shall make the executive decision of moving this way.
Yep. Iska, it is now your turn. You are missing 3 ribs, and are in Luck's arms, being run as he runs away. You see this giant swarm of tentacles sort of form a halo around them. As they go to try to go around him, you see them almost dissolve and retreat away. As you look up and then go, ow! What would you like to do?
I'm still paralyzed, aren't
I? No. Now that you're out of the tentacles, it's a one thing.
Oh shit!
It's to get you there.
Well, I think I'm just
at the top of your turn. You feel it fade because you're not in the tentacles anymore.
Gotcha.
Reader donated 25 Christmas surprise to Ambrose.
Oh, nice! That's awesome.
Sweet. I will note that down.
What does that mean?
It means you get a solstice surprise.
Get a fancy Christmas
present. A fancy Christmas present.
Yeah, you get a present.
Nice. Thank you. 'Tis this season. Thank you so much.
She is on death's door, so she is just going to take care of herself here. She's going to just kind of hum a little ditty to herself, and as she does, she's going to cure wounds at level 3.
Yeah, that's probably a good thing. 15 points of healing.
Cool. Well, it's something.
And because Ambrose was asking me, healing dice are a free action. You can use them anytime during your turn, and they don't count against your 5 dice.
And that's what I'm going to do, is use a healing dice, which is a
D10.
D10.
Thank you, chat, for
Thank you
your
so
donations
much, chat.
to keep our party alive, because I make hard monsters.
Okay, and that's me.
Cool. Inspiration or anything for your bonus?
Oh, right. Healing dice doesn't count as bonus. Yeah, she'll just be very confused about the tentacles coming out and still just getting her motions back, just being able to move at all. But she will look up in Luck's eyes, and their eyes will meet for a second, and she'll just mouth the words "thank you" to him and give him inspiration through that.
Cool. Celia, you are up.
Yep, I'm gonna. This is a hill, right?
I'm sorry, where are you pointing at? Thing the
Right
map.
here.
Yes, right across there. I mean, it's not a full height hill. I mean, it's just sort of it's not difficult terrain, but you could get a little bit of cover if that's what you're trying to do, to try to hide behind it.
No, I was just making sure I could get over.
Yeah, but you can get up there, no problem.
Okay.
Yeah, off the path is difficult terrain, but if you're just going one square into it, you're rogue.
Yep, I'm going to attack this guy. Or not. And then Enlightenment hits.
What is enlightenment? I don't even know.
Enlightenment is my little lightning dagger that I stole from the little friend that I blew.
Okay. Yeah. So got it. So yeah, your lava tongue rapier, just as long as your rapier is, it's just up against this hard, heavy armor. If you don't hit exactly right, but the lightning dagger, you're able to just sort of oomph and slam it inside the into this construct. The lightning dagger
I
you
actually
got
have
from one of the
to
fake
roll
creatures.
it for my offhand, but I'll just like roll damage for
Okay.
the offhand. So it'll be okay.
So yeah, so you do 3 piercing damage, and again, the lightning on this does not seem to do quite the amount of damage as you were expecting. You see the sparks come out from it, but don't seem to affect it as much as you were quite expecting it to.
Hey Ambrose, this dagger looks really familiar to you.
Yeah, these are what you were attacked with, Ambrose, by the little fey creatures.
Ah, I see.
And that'll be her turn. I'll stay there.
Okay, Axel, you are up next. As that dagger does go in, the Myrmidon, you can see its movements are starting to get shaky as though it's starting to break down.
Oh, I almost forgot about something.
Huh. Oh yeah, you did have sneak attack on that.
You're
Useful to know.
the most roguiest thing.
The roguiest of rogue things. Yeah. As you actually pull the dagger out, you kind of rip it to one side through, and you can actually see like oil and different fluids begin to flow out of this place where you had jammed in the dagger. Hey, suddenly pandas! There's pandas in chat.
Yay, pandas!
I wonder if he can.
And I
if he
saw
gets
what you
himself-
did there, New Titans. No.
Oh, that was good. I'm thinking if he can get up here, he could actually burning hands both
yeah.
of them. If he gets up to the top of this hill here.
Yep. You can do that with your movement. It does. It's sort of like half terrain, so it's sort of like you can
You can
go.
climb.
Yeah, you're good. Oh, that's right. If you're
Yep.
climbing, you're fine.
Yep. Scramble up, get to the top, and he will burning hands at second level.
Okay.
He will be doing that with thunder damage, and it will be wisdom saves. For
Okay.
each of them.
So you aim it sort of right at its skull. This resonating crash of thunder goes across here. You basically take your hands together and kind of do a Mr. Miyagi, and then do a skoosh, sending this sound wave out across at its brain, this sort of brain
Mulligan.
cavity in it. Wow. And
Yeah. I'm gonna mulligan.
oh, you're giving him your portent or what?
No. Reroll on damage.
Oh, you're doing a reroll on damage? Okay.
Yeah, because I rolled 3 1s.
Oh, yeah.
So I'll just hit that button again,
Yep.
and I can
Be sure
get
to
to
mark
it.
that off.
Yep. Apparently, it doesn't like upcasting.
Yeah.
One. Yep, that's better.
Okay. So,
14. 13.
as this thunderous wave goes out across it, again, you can see that its form sort of being created by the magic within this place seems to be somewhat resistant to these types of effects. However, it still does take some damage as it. Oops, no. Take 6 points of thunder damage as you see the bones sort of rattle and resonate through its form and through its skull. Let me just double check something. Yeah.
Yep.
Magical effects. Gotta love it. Next up is this.
Healing die as well.
Okay, go ahead and you burn the healing die.
Jay, your mic's doing
That thing.
again.
Come back better. Hello, test. Gotcha. Bone Demon, having just been hit by this thunderous crack. Yeah.
Did I catch both of them in that one? I was trying to catch both of them.
Oh, I'm sorry. I wasn't understanding you were catching both of them. Sorry. Yeah, no. Yeah, you could aim it that way in 15 feet. No, I was looking at the arrow pointing. I wasn't thinking of burning
Sorry.
hands being the cone. Yeah. Oh, so let me make him do himself a wisdom saving throw. Oh, that's not going to be good. Oh,
what you
yeah.
think.
The Myrmidon you see a resonance set up inside of it, and you see this shaking, rattling sort of start at its head and go down to its toes and then sort of resonate back up to it. In fact, travels up and down its frame 2 or 3 times, doing more damage than you would have expected something like that to do.
Thunder.
Oof. Yeah. So wait, so your total for that is the 9 plus 4 plus 7?
No, the 7 was the healing die, so it's 13.
Gotcha. So
total.
it's 13. Yeah. So yeah, you see it begin to rattle and shake as a resonance seems to have set up inside of it. The armor that surrounds it, the way that it's concaved around its form, once the thunder got inside of it, it ricocheted around there and seemed to all but scramble its insides.
Alright, awesome.
Bone Demon, having just been hit by Axel, he's going to leap over to you because he has got this lovely leap attack. Leaps up towards you. And let's see. Okay. For the mechanics, he backs up 2 squares and then leaps forward. And I need you to make me a strength saving throw to see whether, as he slams into you, whether you get knocked prone.
Do it, wizard.
Okay. On a 9.
I'm gonna burn an advantage on it. I know.
You can't burn an advantage. You can burn an inspiration. You can use the D12 inspiration, or you can do a mulligan.
I'm going to
After
reroll.
roll.
Yeah.
So,
Nah,
No.
not much better. It's all done.
Yep.
It's all ogre now.
you fall to the ground, and as it's over top of you, you see its claws out again, and with surgical precision, reaches down into you, attempting to, on a 29, I assume is going to hit.
Yep.
And for 24 slashing damage. Actually, I'm sorry. No, only 21 slashing damage because you are not paralyzed. It does 21 slashing damage, and it extracts bones out of your chest and like your ulna on one of your arms as it just like starts pulling bones out from inside of your skin.
Ow.
I'm sorry, you get to make a constitution saving throw just in case.
I'm going to use advantage.
Yes, you're welcome to do that.
Constitution's a bit of my strength. 13, probably not good enough.
Not good enough.
Clarification: Are the 5 combat donations as a group or individual?
Wait, no, they're each person you can use 5.
Okay, all right, never mind. Continue.
Yeah, you don't need to keep track of everyone, just your own 5. And so you do see that it takes these bones out of your chest and like off of your forearms and then inserts them back into itself, healing itself up. As some of the holes that were in it close up. Next up is Ambrose.
Okay, so let's see. First, I want to use a healing
Did I
dice.
do that right? Yes.
So that I just roll a d10 over here?
Yep, can you just roll a d10?
As a note, you are still in the sanctuary, so as long as you don't attack it, it still has disadvantage to attack you, or it has to make a save before it
Has to
attacks
make a
you.
save, a wisdom save.
Oh, so if I attack it,
Then the sanctuary drops. So for right now, you are protected to a certain amount.
Yeah, if you cast any damaging spells or make an attack.
against the Myrmidon.
Against anything.
Again, it's anything, actually.
Yeah, so you'd still have Sanctuary. No, you lose Sanctuary against everything if you make an attack against anything.
Ah, I see. I see. Okay. So
You're welcome to break it. I'm just letting you know.
the mage armor
Takes
is
an
that
action
just
to
a
cast.
full action?
Yep. Mage armor is an action to cast.
It'd be worth you doing that then.
Yes, while you still have that protection up, I'd say it would be.
I don't know. I'm torn. And then last thing, Jay, I sent you a message about this, but did Lad need to roll initiative?
He goes on your turn. If you're using it as the reticle, that basically becomes his action.
Okay. How is the Myrmidon looking?
Myrmidon is looking rough, and you saw as the thunder damage sort of resonated
All right.
within it, really
I'm
strangling.
gonna use Storm Mastery and use my boomerang with all the thunder damage. So that's, I mean,
Yeah,
and-
you can maximize. Yeah, that's right. You can maximize any thunder damage. It doesn't have to be spell damage. So yeah, you can use your boomerang. Go ahead and roll that attack. And
I'm not using my boomerang. I'm using my boomerang.
Yeah, I understand. The
Okay.
boomerang,
Just,
which with the reticle you have advantage.
yeah.
22 is going to hit.
So that's 16 thunder damage.
Yeah. So how do you want to do this? As your boomerang hits this and the thunder begins to resonate down through the inside of the armor.
I think the boomerang aims straight center of the chest as it makes a connection. Thunder, right into the center of it, and it erupts outward.
Yeah, so you see the thunder go into it right through the center where you can actually see this sort of transparent covering over the storm soul gear, this sort of weird corrupted version of it that has brought this construct to life. And the thunder sort of focuses itself down in there, and you hear the and you just see all of it begin to shatter and shake and until it gets louder and louder until the entire thing just blows apart in a giant rain of armor and metal shards and pieces. But as they fall and before they even hit the ground, they just disappear into mist, and it is gone.
Is there anything left from it?
Nope.
Okay. I believe that is my full turn then.
Cool. Myrmidon is gone. So next up, Vidar.
Okay.
Oh, hey, actually, real quick, since I didn't use Call Lightning that time, is it over? Or since I haven't had my Constitution broken, is it still active?
It's active, but you have to use an action to call lightning down. And you used
Yeah,
your
yeah,
action
yeah.
for
But like
your
next
boomerang.
term, I can still use Call Lightning and it won't burn a spell slot.
Correct.
Okay, just want to make sure. Thanks.
Okay. Vidar is going to pull the great sword and begin running towards Axel, seeing how beat up he is.
Yep.
And as he's running, he shoots two of the moonlight shards flying towards.
Yep, go ahead
his
and roll
own,
for him.
yelling out, "We've been gone for no more than 10 minutes."
And
Did
yep, dexterity on this dude. That's a fail.
Yay, that's one fail.
Yep, the other one passes, but one fails. Oh wait, no, 17. It both fail. As it is somehow its resistance seems to be less now that they're not working off of each other. These two entities.
Wonderful. So he's just coming along with the greatsword, and he's just going to be throwing it down onto this thing's head.
Go for it.
2 attacks.
23 and 23 both hit, both with 10 slashing damage.
And on that last one, I'm going to use my last spell slot to Eldritch Smite.
Go for it.
This is how you blade lock.
With another 10 points of force damage. Let me see. Wait, ooh, this math. Vidar, tell me how you want to take this demon and have it Get the F out of your vineyard.
First, I slash that gross mouth tentacle thing off, and then flourish the blade up, and then just slash it into the head. And then the force damage kicks in as it just explodes.
And it all just turns into this just smattering of bone dust, and then you see, just lying on the ground, the chunk of Argorite, still charged red, but no longer being controlled by this demonic entity inside of it. You just see the Argorite sitting there, sort of malevolently lying on the ground. And as you watch it, again, its form goes away. The Myrmidon's form turns to nothing. And you see around you the mist beginning to clear away, slowly fading from view as you are left in the vineyard. Now, above you, you begin to start to see stars as it clears, and where was once this sort of warped vineyard, you see it more clearly, the way that you saw it when you first entered here. And that mournful, malevolent presence sort of pulls all into that Argorite. And you find yourself standing
As
in the starlight.
Starlight comes out and the Argorite is just there. Vidar's gonna bamf this great sword away and pick up the Argorite and just...
Yeah, Ambrose is going to run over to him as well and ask him for it to put the Argorite back in the little insulative box that he's created for it.
Do you place it within?
This thing is tedious. He's going to throw it over to him. Be more careful.
3 points.
Well,
Be more careful, says the guy casually tossing around the thing that was just attacking us and taking out bones.
With 4 stars still spiraling around his head as well. Glittering stars. And yes. Because that spell lasts 10 minutes.
As you all stand there, behind you, you can see now more clearly standing stones in a circle, the two that are there, a moon shining down upon them. The strange shimmering protection seems to have faded. And the Crucible of Souls lies before you.
Celia walks over to Vidar and takes his hand and just kind of looks at him and says, "Are you ready?"
Yeah, I'm ready. This looks strangely familiar, though. This reminds me of a thing that happened to Ishkrin. The standing stones and the whole eyesight blinding thing. This reminds me of that circle. And he's going to begin walking down there with her.
And as you guys start to walk towards it, we're going to take a super quick break. before we move into this next part of our story. We'll be back super quick.
Sorry, Vax.
Sorry, Vax.
Vax said no.
Good combat.
We want drama now.
Yeah. And while we're gone, if someone can talk a little bit about Toys for Tots, I would appreciate it. And I shall return in just a second before we, like I said, continue on. Thank you, everyone, for tuning in. And can't wait to show you this next part of our story.
All right, hi everybody. If this is your first time here, welcome. If you've been here before, welcome back. This channel is about 100% for charity, and the charities change roughly once a month. This month's charity being Toys for Tots, an organization that's dedicated to bringing toys to children of all different stands in life. There's a number of different activities you can be a part of. You can go to the website itself, click on the purple lettering in the description below and see if there's anything in your local area where you can volunteer your time, or you could choose to donate directly to the website, or if you choose to do it through our channel, you can do things to affect the story. And if you'd like to donate through our channel, you click the banner above the description, and you could do things like add something to the spell bank for any amount. At every $100 increment, we get a spell. You can give a D10 healing dice, as you saw us use in the game, or advantages or inspirations. It really can save our characters. It matters. But if you do not wish to donate or don't have the means, please do not feel pressured to. You can do things like share our stream on social media like Twitter and Facebook. Otherwise, we hope you enjoy your show and you can stay with us. And since we were gone, I do have a palindrome for everybody. This week's palindrome being Rail delivers reviled liar. It's in the chat for reference in case you don't believe me. That is our palindrome. Sorry, got a little bit of I've had a runny nose for like weeks and I cannot get rid of it. It's very annoying.
We need to prolong further.
Sure. Do you have a recommendation for us?
I do. It's a very fun one I've had quite a good chuckle with. So this recommendation is a book that I would say is so full of cliches, but they're done so well. It is Arbor Swith Mon Amour. Now, if you're wondering why that sounds so weird, it's because it is a detective novel based in England, Wales, that has the same style as old LA noir novels, but it's based in Wales. So it's rather interesting because you get this old New York style detective with all the cliches included, but with all the weird Welsh English banter you get. There's some very interesting characters that show up, and this detective and the femme fatale cliches all come in, and it plays to its strengths as a very silly, very over the top detective novel. It opens up right with the detective moaning about something and doing the long monologues that you would expect. It's a beautiful, silly little novel, and it's a series of 3. It's called the Lewis Knight Mysteries, because the main character is Lewis Knight, and he is a rather entertaining series, as one would expect from a silly detective novel.
Awesome. Thank you very much. And we're almost all back. So it's time for everybody's favorite part of the show, Pun of the Week.
I'm gone.
Why? Why should you look for scientists under the sea?
Why?
For research purposes.
Bird just got that.
No!
No.
That hurt. Wait, you have a zoom in function? Look at you, Mr. Fancy.
If you want to have a zoom function, you tell me.
Oh.
At least one person was spared.
Yep. Jay, you're muted. I didn't hear what you said.
What's going on?
We spared Ambrose pun of the week.
Oh,
No psychic damage.
No, but
you're
see,
good.
he's the guest. He is supposed to stand with our torture.
No, but we can't scare off the guests.
Nick, do you have any puns for us?
well, we live in Florida here, and I saw this like big long lizard in the backyard,
Mm-hmm.
and I couldn't figure out whether or not it was an alligator or a crocodile. So I waited for a while to see if I saw it a little later or if it was after a while.
You are respectable.
I'm
Respectable.
done. I'm done. Vidar's gone. Lyle's gone. We're all gone.
Drop the nuke, guys.
Resurrection canceled.
Resurrection
I'm gone.
canceled.
But that's it. Vice cancelled. We're starting a new campaign next week. This pun's destroyed it.
If it was gonna destroy it, it would have wrecked it far earlier.
Yeah. Okay. So,
Let me just renew my hate for you all.
as the skies clear overhead and the vineyard becomes a warm, almost welcoming place, these echoes that had been corrupted, having been vanquished, and even the presence inside of Luck currently held back, held at bay, thrown out of this place, unable to return. You step through the arch and into this huge hinge of stones. And Vidar, yes, it is not exactly the same, but very similar to the circle of stones that you saw when you traveled backwards and saw the gate open above you as Iskrin. The thing that catches Vidar's attention, Luna's attention, and Iska's attention especially, is that within this hinge of stones, probably 150 feet across, there's an inner circle of 8 columns carved with primitive symbols and signs that is in the same layout that you all saw in the Temple of Echoes. There is a basin at the center, but where this other one had been corrupted by the Archmistress, this space is serene and pure. Where there had been channels that were filled with dried blood in the temple, here there are beautiful polished glyph stones arrayed like spokes on a wheel leading from the columns to this center raised crucible of dark stone that shimmers with magic, looking almost like a black opal shining under the moonlight. Standing across from all of you, you see 2 ethereal figures, Eva and Lady Kaliena. Not solid. They are somewhat translucent, just ghostly shapes of themselves. They are not wearing their normal black and silvers. They're wearing white and sort of glow under the moonlight, shimmering. Lady Kaliena takes one step forward and begins to speak. It is here, if anywhere, that one such as Lysithea can be rewoven back into the tapestry and returned to the material plane. Vidar, if you wish to go forward, you will be the one who will have to reach into the Crucible to to attempt to reforge Lysithea when it is time. She looks to Iska, but it will take an act of fate to complete this ritual, and one of the sisters' cords to bring the ritual to a close when Vidar tries to call forth Lysithea once again. She looks around. The rest of you may also be needed and assist in this reforging. As Lysithea's soul is incomplete, the bond with Vidar may not be enough, but every soul carries an internal spark of destiny within it that you may lend to this ritual and help return Lysithea and shape the vessel that their soul will inhabit from this day forward. She looks to Vidar. If this is still your intent, place the shards of Lysithea in the Crucible, and the ritual may begin.
Yes. It's worth trying. And he's just going to begin to walk forward. He's going to pull the shards out, and he's going to look back at Iska. Are you okay with this?
Of course.
The cords are important. It's just... Okay. And he's just going to walk forward towards... and place the shards one by one within the crucible.
As you place them in, as each one goes in, you see as it sort of slides to the bottom, just becomes a pool of liquid metal like mercury. Slowly, as each one is added, slowly filling up the crucible. Shining there, now a pool of liquid metal. So, at this point, we'll move into our rules for resurrection. Vidar, Iska already have their roles in this, but the rest of you may add some portion of yourself, may do a check. Describe how you would like to lend your magic, your spark of destiny to this. And we'll have the ability, 3 personal checks, another check, so everyone can participate if they'd like, a check to give advantage to Vidar's final roll, and we can do a check to give a mulligan to Vidar's final roll. So all of you don't have to participate, but I wanted everybody to have the ability to participate if they would like. Who would like to go first?
Luna would like to pray to St. Cuthbert that he lend his power to this resurrection ritual, and sort of something to the effect of, Lysithea, you have been a part of the tide for a very long time, but there's still more for you to do, more for you to reach. You need not rest. You can still fight. And I would fight with you. You helped save my life, and now I wish to do the same for you.
You can roll me a religion check or wisdom. I believe they're probably going to be the same.
Straight wisdom or religion?
Straight wisdom or religion.
That's different.
I can't remember whether you're proficient in religion or not.
I am.
So yes, you can roll a religion check.
Okay. Yes. We'll do that. Nope.
You offer your prayer and call out. There's no response, but your words drift into the night. Anyone else like to?
Celia walks up and says, Lysynthia, I give you the power of the shadows, straight from the void. You're so important to Vidar and to everybody in this group. You can't. You have to stay. Can I do stealth?
Actually, that's what I was going to do. I was going to say, because you're drawing upon the shadows, you can do a stealth check for this.
Yay!
That's also really cool.
25.
Nice.
Ambrose wants to offer the power of the storms, and is there, as far as the construction of Lysithia is concerned, is there any part of it that's not forged through this magical process, like the handle or the hilt or the quiver or anything like that? I ask because coming out of this battle, Ambrose still has 4 full charges, and he'd like to offer the use of fabricate through Lad to try to create some piece of something to aid in this process, and if in some way offer storm energy as well.
Okay, no, I'll just have you do a. Golly, I'm trying to think how we roll it. It would be a spell. It would be a spell check. So it would just be your intelligence. I guess it's Don't you have proficient? You're got a check next to your intelligence saving throw. Yes.
Indeed.
So I will let you roll an intelligence save, as that is how your magic is derived. And since you have 4 charges left and fabricate, and this is kind of what we're doing,
I technically have 6 because Lad has 2 on board,
right?
As well. So
no, I'll let you. Yeah, go ahead and I'll let you roll that as your check.
The intelligence.
Yep, an intelligence saving throw. 14. You see the lightning.
Can I do a re-roll? Or no?
No, not on this.
Okay.
But you do see the lightning and the charges sort of flow down into the metal and begin to crackle within this pool of metal down below, seeming to keep it energized, mixing with sort of shadows that are playing across the surface as well. Luck, Axel, you are able to, if one of you would like to take to add something to it to give either advantage on Vidar's roll or a mulligan, you are welcome to. Or if you want to just watch, that's fine as well.
So sort of once Ambrose is sort of. So I don't know Lysithia very well, but I do know magic, and it comes in all different shapes and forms. So I'm just gonna do what I can. And he sort of starts just sort of inscribing, just sort of in the air, a magic circle that is using what he knows of how the magic of life and death works.
Mm-hmm.
And he's just giving a focal point of a magic circle.
Okay.
And then in the center, he'll put the life rune and just channel the might of the ancients into Lysithia's resurrection. And it sort of glows this clean green.
So yeah, as you start to form this of life and death, it is almost like you're making this yin and yang sign as you draw these with your claws in the air. And then at the center, the dragon rune of life. I'm going to have you do a history check for this, as it draws upon your knowledge and all of your countless hours. And would you like this to go towards mulligan or towards advantage?
Advantage.
Okay. 24. You see these runes take light, and this sigil that is drawn in the air begins to lay down and sort of settle down, and you see your etchings and markings begin to flow, and shine, and begin to circulate within this black opal cauldron. You see those different patterns of light begin to coalesce, and then those runes sort of take part and become a part of the cauldron itself. Luck?
He's gonna sort of stand sort of to one side, close his eyes, and sort of put his hand down onto the earth and have his ears listening to the world as he sort of begins to tap into that sixth sense of his, listening and waiting, and just sort of in that way of just trying to sense the being of Lysithea and trying to help form that image of her, the fragments that may remain. And
you go ahead and do me a perception check. I love when the dice do what I want them to do. You place your hand down and you listen for Lysithea. You begin to feel a presence. But it's not Lysithea. Here, having had that thing pulled from you, you are looking at your hand on the ground, and you see 2 feet standing in front of you. Not really there, but there. And they're familiar to you. And a lightness fills your heart as you look up and see Faith looking down at you. And she smiles. And she lifts you up underneath the arms. You're now much taller than her. Looks into your eyes. And you feel that bond that you have with Faith. How your 2 souls are connected and lend that bond to the ceremony. That same type of bond, not sacrificing it by any means, but knowing that connection. And she smiles at you and lays her hand on your cheek as she often did in the past. It says, "Stay good, Luck." And you see her disappear, her form sort of shifting into a mist that then drifts down onto the pool of metal there in front of you. With that, Iska now moves to you. You have a choice to make. There are 2 chords that you know. Which one will you sing?
She looks at the scene unfolding in front of her, and she thinks which one she's going to offer up. And as she sees Vidar prepare, she begins to get a pretty clear picture in her head of what she needs to do. By doing this, by creating a new home for his patron, Vidar is not only choosing to forge this new bond, he's choosing life itself. And there is no better choice for her than to offer up her own creation. Something she created to represent an unbreakable spirit and simply a burning will to live. Iska performs Gandry's Armored Heart, a sign that she would give anything for her friend in any form he takes.
And with that, you begin to sing. And Lady Coliana looks to Vidar, says, "It now relies upon you. Do you have anything to say before you reach into the cauldron?"
I'd like to thank all of you. He's Lascifia, Forged Eclipse, in service to the Frost Prince and to Ishkrin. I'm sorry, friend, but sweepers, crafters, and the big scheme of it all. It's always a struggle. Never ending, but sometimes things have to end. We've got to end this, buddy. We have a lot of work to do. RT, Ryan Talia, Nartol. But even more, we got to find out more about ourselves. Just what it is to actually live. Ishkrin just wouldn't understand. But I hope he'd accept it. I hope he'd appreciate it. I am him and he is I. Let's do this, buddy. Come back. And I'm going to gently have the moonlight shards that are still orbiting around me, and like reflecting the Forged Eclipse's own abilities. It's how he gives the power to create orbital blades. He's going to, just like him, send his own little orbital stars into the concoction, hopefully re-empowering the forge, the cauldron, with the magic granted by whatever remains of Lassifia's soul.
Okay. You see the shards start to spin around the cauldron, and as they do, They shape themselves almost into the same shape as the pieces of Lysithea that was shattered, and then meld themselves.
As that's happening, I'm going to look over towards Luna and say, he's still a part of the pathogen. He's still from the cradles. He's still forged from there. Pass me the ring.
She passes you the ring.
With the blessings of Ishkrin and from the Frost Prince. We're free. He's going to drop the ring in.
You see the ring go in with a and disappear underneath the silvered mercury-like surface. The shards blending down of moonlight down into it. It begins to glow with a silver light. And Vidar, I need you to make a charisma saving throw with advantage. And you do have a mulligan. On a 20. Vidar, you reach into the crucible, and you can see the molten metal swirl around your hand as you plunge it beneath this mercurial surface. It's still for a moment, and then it begins to coalesce, pulling from the sides of the stone and beginning to form the crescent-shaped blade. The backbone of Lysithea's familiar arcing form emerging from the liquid metal. You feel that bond between your souls reform, connecting you to the very heart of the blade. You stop for a moment. You look up. You see the ghostly form of Iskrin, resigned and a bit wistful, but he looks down into the crucible and can't hold back a small smile as his oldest friend emerges once more. Vidar, you look back down and find that you are now holding a reforged Lysithea, glowing with an inner moonlight, blade etched with the contribution of your friends that surround the cauldron. Lysithea, the soul-forged eclipse, has emerged from the crucible of souls. Dragon-runed, armor-hearted, storm-born, tide-tempered, rift-quenched, faith-bonded. An artifact reborn of the chosen of the stars, to be a part of setting the destiny right on this sphere, and perhaps others as well. A bright beam of light emerges from the crucible as the last drops of metal form Lysithea's razor-sharp blade. The light shooting upward, and where once there was only darkness in the sky above, a dark moon is revealed overhead. There's a flash of light, and you see the black orb surrounded by a corona mirroring your eyes, but then is swallowed into the darkness of the night. It suddenly seems very silent here. Brisk, cold wind blows across your skin and ruffles your hair, drawing all of your eyes back downward. And across the crucible, you all watch as the last few motes of blue glitter drift to the ground and melt away. And that is where we're going to end our session today. Thank you, everyone, for tuning in. Sorry, I got a little choky there.
Same.
We did it, boys.
Yep.
We did it!
And I was
GG!
Whoop, whoop. We beat the game, guys. All right, now we can all go home. We don't have to worry about anything.
No, it's not. Yeah.
All right,
If only it worked like that.
yeah. All right, rematch time. Let's beat Petit this time. we got upgrades.
Yeah,
Is Jay frozen?
I think you might be.
I think he said,
Yeah.
yeah.
There he is.
Oh, very sad.
Oh, yeah,
You were
sorry.
frozen for a moment.
I'm catching my breath for a moment.
All right. Garnet
Wait
versus
till
Jasper.
Bati meets
Here we
Lyle
go.
2.0.
I'm stronger than you.
I guess we'll start off with dragons or cats. I hope I did right by you, buddy.
We had to kill. I had to kill my own character. In essence, no, I'm kidding. That was fucking intense and insane. And with that, when Luna's first roll came in, I was like, oh no, things are going badly. I'm gonna roll a 1 for sure. But then everyone else was just like, yes, my hope and love, and you guys are wonderful. Nothing against you, Luna.
Got the bat roll out of the way. It's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah, we knocked on wood. It was fine. It was good.
Contribution.
I may have took the ring. I don't know if you were there to hear it, but I may have.
I did hear that part. Yeah.
Fantastic. Yes, good. Yeah. I'm Dragons and Cats. You can catch me on the webs and Twitters as Dragons and Cats. And that was incredible. Resurrections, y'all. Now it's time to get to work. Oh god, that was.
This is just a side quest, man.
Yeah, I know. Side quest or something. Yeah, side.
I do kind of intense side quests.
Let's not die.
Yeah.
Because there's more side quests.
But more XP.
What's next?
Next, we will go up to Templar Warden.
Oh boy, that was a pretty awesome moment. Yeah, good fight. Axel could have done better, but he did well. I like how it all turned out. So that was me playing Hidden by Axel Tabaxi Wizard. You may catch me anywhere on the internet as Rainer Templar Warden, or catch me on Twitter at Rainer Templar. Oh boy. Yeah. That's it.
Next up, we have NNG9.
Hey, it's me. I have fun. Except for my internet decided today was a great day to be terrible. Yeah, it was good times. I got to punch things in the face, and Lysithea's back. So, yeah.
There you go. Tell us a little about what the other stuff you do, if you'd like.
Oh, right. Clearly, I am sick because I am not in full show mode. I am Energy98 on Twitter, where I tweet random things. Sometimes it's fun, sometimes it's palindrome, sometimes it's just retweets of other things I think are funny. When, at some point, I will start streaming again. Energy9 on Twitch. At some point, I have Red Dead. It's ready to go. Guaranteed I will stream at the end of January for Kingdom Hearts 3 because Donald will face his retribution. Stupid duck made me look bad.
Bird versus Plane.
Hey, I'm Bird vs. Plane. That was a lot of fun. Iska has 3 less ribs, but she's got a lot of heart. That was really wonderful, everybody. I would say let's die more often so we can have touching moments, but let's just not die ever, okay? I'm Bird vs. Plane everywhere. You can find me on Twitch and Twitter at that same name, where I stream occasionally for charitable organizations. So drop in, say hey, do a thing.
Next up, we've got LS1 DeLorean. Nick, did you have a good time? So glad you were able to join us today. We've been trying to plan this. Literally, I think we set this date in stone back like on October 1st.
October, yeah. It's like December 8th. Hell or high water. It's happening. So yeah, this guest player experience was brought to you by Bird in the Storm Publishing.
Thanks, dude.
Welcome. Thank goodness for this massive 20-something ounce mug. It's definitely like, see the size of my head. It is all the tea, coffee, or whatever you will need while you are streaming. So, no, this was a blast. Like Jay said, we've been planning this for, oh my gosh, almost 2 months. So, always a blast to join you guys on stream. This was particularly awesome because Ambrose truly was coming in 100% blind last session. definitely had a little bit more backstory. This time it was like, walk through the door. Hey, what are you guys doing here? So, very cool. Very cool to be on this side. And yeah, this was a blast. Hopefully not the last time.
Awesome. Thank you so much again for joining us. Next up, we have Good Guy Pie.
Well, I'm Good Guy Pie, and adventures are always interesting with, stuff and reviving a sword because, yeah, that's sweet, and I'm so happy Sophie's back. I'm kidding. Bloody wonderful. And beautiful scene, like always, Jay. Always making me hold back the old tears because I need to look tough in front of the audience because I'm the leather coat kid. But you can find me at Good Guy Pie on Twitter. Don't think I didn't see that on Twitch, and you can find me at Too Good 2 Guy on Twitter, where I post art. I stream games, mainly RPGs, but sometimes I stream art if you're really lucky and catch that. And yeah, that's pretty much it for me. And keep it cool, keep it sweet.
Last but not least, Tree-Hugging Druid.
Hi. You can find me here on Saturdays doing my roguey thing, obviously. And you can find me on Friday nights on 7-9's Mixer channel, playing a sweet little bard rogue who's totally didn't just make a deal with the god of death. So we have that going for us. And you can go follow me on Twitter. I'll link both Sev's Mixer and my Twitter in the chat.
Cool. I am Tall Squall, your choky DM who gets all emotional over his own scenes. But I really enjoyed doing today's session. Hopefully fun combat, and then as a last challenge before finally going in. And once you guys started being all tender and stuff with your checks, I knew I was doomed. Doomed, I say. But I love this game. I love bringing it to all of you. I love telling you guys the stories that we have. I hope you all enjoyed it and felt it as much as I did, because I obviously could barely make my way through it, even though I rehearsed it for 3 days. I can't even tell you the number of recordings I have of me rehearsing so I could hopefully make it through. And super, super happy all of y'all tuned in. Thank you for all of your support. Thank you for your support of Toys for Tots. And until next time, gather your friends together and tell a story. We're actually, let me take a quick check who's around. We might go raid some folk. Wow, there's not many people. Oh, Skagath is. We can go... I know Scraticus was, I think, on someone's channel, but we're going to go raid good old, our buddy Skagath. So join us in a raid, throw a couple flexes in there, and we'll see you on the other side. SKAGG ETH. And we will see you on the other side. Thank you again, everyone, for joining us. And as I said before, be good to each other and gather your friends together, tell a story, because that is what life is all about. Good night, everyone. Bye-bye.
Ta-ta.